One of the best couple of seconds you experience for the year is when the national anthem finishes and 100,000 start yelling for the team they want to win on the day, and 95 of them are wearing yellow and black. It's quite extraordinary, the scenes here. Never seen a ground so dominated by the one club. The Coliseum, Duck and Nath Brown, you've never seen it look better. 91,000 we're hearing are in the house. Great credit to everyone attached to this place, because this ground is in pristine condition and the next 2 hours are going to be electrifying.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. It's picturesque, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. And
breeze is swirly though, Duck.
A little bit swirly. I tell you what, after that period there, the national anthem gets sung. So you have a lot of nerves. You're able to control them. You stay relaxed. But right now, this period now, as we watch the two captains come into the middle of the ground for the coin toss.
What is important about a game like this and a day like this? Swirly wind. You need to hit your target. You need to kick the goals.
Oh boy!
Toss of a coin.
Stick with what's ahead, boys.
Ahead. So Trent Cotchin has decided to go to the city end. Now that's the end at which GWS were warming up. It's swirly here. It's hard to say without being out there exactly who it advantages, but it's unlikely to advantage anyone, because I think the swirl you get to use
set shot goals, Brian.
Yep.
It's nuts, the feeling of this game, boys. It feels like a grand final. I know it isn't, but it's Duck. It feels to me like that. It's the electricity that you get on grand final day.
But with the set shot goals, Brownie, I reckon centre of the goal.
Straight at it.
Because you've got all this other stuff going on.
Yep. And often the player feels that swirliness in their face, and they think, oh, I've got to aim a bit right or a bit left. And the ball generally does go straight.
But the big part about a swirly day like this, when you do have a set shot, is the wind on your hand as you go from hand to foot. It's the most important thing today. Your hand guiding the footy down to your foot is the most important thing in a set shot today.
Will this GWS group emerge, or will this amazing Richmond story have at least one and maybe two more chapters?
Who's got the aggression? Who's got the vigour? We're about to find out. Players taking their positions now. Starting on the bench, Scully, Taranto, Wilson and De Boer. And for Richmond, Edwards, Graham, Broad and Castagna.
Prestia against his old team in the guts with Dusty, Cotchin, Nan Curvis. And you've got, on the other side of the coin, Cornelio in the centre with Hopper and Kelly.
Interesting, not a glove on anyone, not a push or shove, really. No. It's very benign.
All right, we're ready to go.
See who's going to Toby Green.
Prelim final, MCG 90 plus in the house.
I think.
Have a listen to that. Umpire holds the ball aloft for McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy to get you underway. Here's BT.
Simon Meredith to put it on the turf in the middle with a perfect bounce. Really well done then. Curvis was there, free kick immediately. Will go the way of the Tigers. Trent Cotchin, a hold in the middle, so the Tigers with the first pure touch, and it's a long 50-metre bound ball deep inside 50. They queue up. Off hands, Martin got the handball away. Lambert will run into the open goal. What a silky goal from the Tigers to start it off, with their two superstars getting their first two touches.
That is unbelievable, isn't it? Free kick in the middle, Cotchin long to a massive pack. What about the front and square?
That's as good a front and square as you'll see.
Dusty Martin at full tilt. Could have easily run in and kicked the goal himself.
You only take 1 of 10 of them. They only hit perfectly 1 of 10 times, but you still have to make that run. You still have to be there for it, and he was good.
You know what? It was that good that he wasn't even centre to the pack. He knew exactly where the ball was going to go. It was going to go to the right of the pack, and he read it beautifully.
Back in the middle, electric start, Tigers one straight. Bounce and it's lob, just hooking it back. Kelly went and found it at ground level, a couple found him. Ball spilt out, Cotchin wrapped up. Did he release the footy? Yes, just. Williams got it back. Cornelio sideways. Oh, he sure had a nervous moment. Through came Dusty Martin, handball forward. Prestia outside 50, lowers the eyes and gets Paddy. Just inside the field of play, 30 from home.
He's Dusty Martin. 2 handballs already.
He sure waited for the footy then.
So Caddy to run around and a banana. This could be reminiscent of last night. 2 inside 2 minutes. Here we go, City End. The banana is good. Ouch.
Wow.
2 straight Tigers. early statement. GWS yet to get it forward to the centre circles. Triple M National Crime Check scoreboard.
Again, the pressure, Duck. The ball came out to Heath Shaw. Any other game this year, he gobbles it up. He attacks the footy. He waited for it. 3 players sweated on him. You can't wait for the ball like Heath Shaw did. He's a senior player. He'd have to look up the screen and go, I let my teammates down then.
Bob Jones, he marched Rioli.
The atmosphere is so amazing down here, boys. I know we keep talking about it, but I've never heard it this loud. I've never seen so much yellow and black. It's like they've been superimposed in a movie or something, the way that the crowd is just getting up and cheering from their seats.
Richmond in 2 goals in a minute and a half, and the only seats available are the MCC members. Why they can't do something to let them in and fill up the house. Over 90,000 out of the middle. Nankervis again. Only touched it 3 times, GWS, in the 2 3/4 minutes we've played so far. They have had 3 possessions. They haven't got near it. The Tigers have got it towards their attacking 50 again. Haynes, little handball out wide. Gone in the tackle. I think it may have been Deledio, was it? Canelio it was, so free kick. On this occasion goes with Townsend, gave it to Martin. Martin had a ping from 52, missed to the right. 2-1-13. GWS yet to score. 3 minutes gone. They've only had 3 possessions.
They are on Richmond. Can GWS respond? Here's Davis, deep in his defensive area.
Said before the game, they need to retain the footy now. They just need to slow this game down, get the game back on their terms.
Aiden Core, low and hard and nice, gets it to the heater outside. Further afield, that's better. Big General Patton runs onto it, wants to take the game on. Slides it over the top beautifully to Lob. Half forward Lob. Long ball inside 50. Nice ball inside 50. Oh, big hit on Himmelberg. Is he going to get Marsh back to the square? No.
Just here. Hey. Stay out.
And the GWS fans come in and remonstrate hard.
It's lenient.
Oh, I reckon that was 50.
Yeah,
that's a late hit.
Very late.
From Grimes. No reportability about it, but I thought it might have been 50.
What he's been is early in games good, Himmelberg, when he's come in. He kicked the first one against Adelaide. He was good again last week.
That's good ball movement, GWS, one end to the other. And Himmelberg now has got about 35 metres between he and the punt road goal face, but it's a tight angle right forward pocket.
Yeah, you're right. It should have been definite 50 metres.
I thought so. It was late. So Himmelberg, set shot, difficult one. Important to kick these, as you heard from Nath Brown. Kick on the way. Is there. Oh, that's nice.
What a kick.
Good response. 1 straight GWS. 2-1-13 Richmond. Triple M National Crime Check scoreboard.
That's as good as you get, Duck, in the first quarter for a young player to go back with the flight, get absolutely pole drive in the boundary line, 5 metres in probably, and to nail that goal. That is a big, big statement from that young fella.
That is an amazing kick from there, Brownie. You're right in your description of his feet. So a 2-1 basically. 7-point lead here with the Tigers. What stands out on the Bosch Tool stat sheet, Ash?
Yeah, Dusty Barton, 3 possessions, all of those contested BT, and 3 score involvements.
What interested me there, Duck, was the transference from end to end was pretty clean.
Yeah, it was. Beautiful kicking of the footy.
Gee, the Chemist Warehouse replay screen, Duck, wasn't it? Magnificent.
Yeah.
As straight as you can possibly kick in, and that was the way to go. Aim for the middle. Lambert with a handball out wide here. Townsend, the target, couldn't get hold of it. Haynes, very impressive player off the half-back flank. Got the handball out towards Ward. He's pressured towards the boundary line. Got the handball off to Scully. Scully, a high ball near the boundary, and Green touches it. So we'll throw it in right in front of the GWS interchange bench.
Just on that last centre bounce, umpire had to call that back.
2 metres outside the circle.
Easily.
Thrown in ball right in front of Nez in the dock. Ruckman go at it, down to Kelly. Little clearance there for the Giants. Green got a push. And will get a free. Broad in his back. Toby Green now wants to go. Handball off to Ward. Ward inside 50 with a high ball. Himmelberg again parked under the footy. Oh, nice! Just got rid of his direct opponent in Asprey and took a very, very nice contested mark top of the square.
I like the fact that they rolled off really quickly then, Toby Green, got the ball moving, and it didn't allow all the Richmond defenders to get back and create a 2-on-1.
Himmelberg for 2 in a row. Straight in front, got it. Emphatic reply by GWS, 2 straight 12. Richmond 2-1-13. National Crime Check scoreboard.
And look at Himmelberg now. He is sprinting off the ground. Why, I don't know. He's kicked 2 quick goals.
Leave him on there.
Leave him on.
In the biggest game of his life.
He's full of confidence.
His opponent's now nervous.
Absolutely full of confidence, and he sprints off quicker than he has sprinted while he's been on the ground.
Is there any reason for it, Ness?
Yeah, look, he's indicated his left eye is hurting. I think he was collected high with that big hit before that first goal. He's just had a chat to the coach and he's asking the doctors to have a look at his left eye at the moment.
Yeah, well, even with that, I suggest to him,
stay on.
Get the burger bet out there.
Yeah, stay on there and get him to come and have a look at you.
It was good use of the body, wasn't it?
It is indeed. A 1 point lead here now with the Tigers, and all of a sudden, listen to this. It's just wafted off a little, and there's a poor bounce in the middle by Meredith. Why they don't have the best bouncer in this group, who's Matty Nichols. He's the best bouncer of all the umpires. Get him to bounce the ball, for goodness sake, in the middle of the ground. Cornelio, handball to Williams. Williams thumps it forward again. Rance got a hand on it, couldn't reel it in. Grimes read the right way. Handball to Rance. Rance had to wait for Floston to front him. Now Floston's kick's got to be good. Kelly intercepts the Prestia mark.
Oh, the beautiful moving Josh Kelly. Outside 50, he's got it. Got a short target if he wants it. Instead he goes looking for the big general. One out. Hands to it. Couldn't take it. Patton. There's Stevie. Handball back to Tomlinson. Inside 50 ball. Not great. Flostone off a step. Just dumps it long. Haynes in good shape. Core I thought might have had it. No mark. Good hands caddy. Now Lambert can run onto the footy. Just can't be clean. Eventually is. Gave it to Prestia, who's met solidly. Soccer off the ground missed. Kelly's hands really good. Handball got it back to Haynes. Back to Kelly in his defensive area. Just stepped through. Gave it back to Haynes. Off half back. And he just hoisted high and then got taken late.
Yeah, free kick down the field will go to Toby Green. Right on the northern wing near the boundary line.
It's a free kick that, down the field, but just a good mark by Toby Green all the same.
And Broad thought, I know it's going to be a free, so I'll just make him really earn this.
Toby Green gives it off. G. Haynes has been good. Kelly's been good already. Very, very impressive as Williams kicks a high ball. A great fist on that occasion from Ashbury in front of Patton, just over the line out of bounds.
PT time in possession. Giants now tracking at 72%. Tigers only at 28.
That's a great effort, Ash, for them to get back in the business after the Tigers kicked the first two. Boundary throw in half-forward flank here for GWS.
Very free-flowing this. There's not a lot of man-on-man stuff. Two players standing on either side of the pack.
That's Nathan Brown, Seabus Super Special comments. Shield gave it off to Ward. Ward back inside. Fumbling mark. Ashbury not claimed. He reckoned it's hit the deck. So it'll be a ball up. The umpire immediately said no. 20 metres out from GWS punt road goal.
Kelly's already had 5 disposals and 2 clearances.
That's the worry for me, Nath, if you're a Tiger fan, is the uncontested rock that this GWS team are getting. Never thought you'd see it with the pressure the Tigers have been putting on. Taranto stripped of the footy. Dylan Shield wants it. Shovels a handball out that's broken up. Cochin Witten got it. End on end ball into the path of Heath Shaw. He goes back and tracks it again. Not clean, the heater. Coughed it up. Meets his teammate. Come and meet the footy. That's Wilson. He got taken very hard on the wing.
What is surprising, Jim, at this bounce that we had just in front of us, the two players standing on the defensive side were Shield and Delidio, two damaging players. The other side, Cochin, was on his own with Castagna, so it's an unbalance at the moment for the Tigers.
Seabus Super Special comments, Nathan Brown. Scully. Handball wide here, looking for Shield. Gee, got met solidly and high, and he's hurt his shoulder, I reckon, Shield. He's got a bit of a dead arm there at the moment. Let's hope it's not popped out. But he's gone down on all fours on the boundary on the southern wing. We've got a ball up. He gets back to his feet now, but his right shoulder.
Chemist Warehouse replay screen. Cochin, I reckon, got him on the chin. Came in and got him front on the chin, so I reckon it might be a little bit of concussion.
Okay, very interesting indeed then with him. Doctors haven't quite got out to him yet, but he's still out there. Little handball for GWS. Nice pick-up, Brownie, on the Chemist Warehouse replay screen there. Ball goes to half forward for GWS. Little handball comes out. Opportunity for Green. Brush the tackle aside. Good handball away. Here's Shield. Looks to have recovered. Left foot high to the goal square at the punt road end. Patton through his hands. And in the end, was it touched?
Yep.
Patton says no.
Ball was touched behind. Yeah, the ball was touched. Cheap. Okay.
Definitely.
So
Score
the
review.
umpire's saying it was touched.
Touched behind.
Patton knows it's touched.
Nico, Scully. Nico, left.
Yeah, so Patton definitely knows it's touched, and we can see the flick of the fingers on the Chemist Warehouse replay screen. So this will be behind, and the Tigers will kick it in.
All locked up.
Had a dominant period to have GWS right on top of the moment.
All locked up 2-1 apiece. And you're right, Duck, just general play they're starting to control. After a blitzkrieg early from the Tigers, long ball, Flostone wide to a one-on-one involving Dusty Martin. And that's a free kick going the GWS Giants way to Core, I think it is. Out wide.
Since the Caddy goal, it's 37 disposals to 12.
Tomlinson. Short ball gets it to Stevie. who has it long way from home. He handballs back to Tomlinson off a step. Mung inside 50, touch ball. Dangerous ball, Scully hands off. Shield, the left foot snap. It's going high. Patton got a couple to beat. Clostone relieving mark.
Well judged, Closton. Right on the behind line there. Little chip kick over the top, finds his target here. And the Tigers just trying to ease it out through Asprey off half back. Kick was a little fortunate, landing with Edwards, who marks that uncontested on the chest. Now he goes for Castagna. What a beautiful kick it was. Castagna's mark at 52 out. Dusty ducks back, but too early. He wasn't ready to pull the trigger. Now he goes to Rioli deep in the pocket and punched away by an aggressive Tomlinson. Over the line, out of bounds. We'll throw it in, attacking 50 for the Tigers.
The kick was perfect. Tomlinson was right up Rioli's ginger. Would have been easy to give away a free kick, but he got all ball with it and got it out of bounds.
He did. He led hard, Jack, but then just slowed up just as he was about to mark it. Didn't run right through the footy.
It's what Duke's out.
Throw in inside forward 50, 2-1 apiece to the front. Ward dispossessed. Through came Edwards. Cochin hovering over it. Martin gets through a couple of tacklers, but then can't control the footy. Did in the end. Dribbling ball. Edwards snap has missed. He got it from Townsend, and it was far side miss. 2-2-2-1. Richmond by a point. Nares down to you.
Himmelberg is coming back on, boys. He's taken a couple of painkillers and he's been icing his head for the last few minutes. He's got a nasty red mark above that left eye, but should be okay.
So the play on from fullback from Nate Wilson. He goes high looking for Patton, who extended the Dukes and took a ripper at half back. So Patton, the general, looking outside, nothing there. Wants to chip it over the top to Kelly. Went the low ball instead of the higher ball. Kelly's able to get onto it, so skillful that he is. Gave the handball on here to Hopper. Hopper to Himmelberg. Himmelberg to Shield. Brushed off Hooley. Handball to Scully. Scully to Ward. 48 out. Punt road in and hammers it home. What a goal from GWS. 3-2-20. GWS, 3-1-19 to Richmond, 2-2-14 National Crime Check scoreboard.
And that all comes about because Patton's mark down the line. If you can take a big, strong, contested mark, the game opens up. Ended up being a really good kick to Kelly. You're right in the call, BT. Put no air on the ball, hit it hard and low. That gave Kelly a chance. And then just the clean ball use.
What about
the
run?
backing up run. And we spoke about that before the game. The Tigers' pressure not quite where it was when they played Geelong a couple of weeks ago.
Josh Kelly, number one ranked player, 7 disposals, 3 clearances. GWS, 8 out of the last 9 inside 50s.
Have a look at that Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen again on Cochin hitting high on Shield. I'll have a look at it.
Give me uncontested ball in a sec too, Ash, please.
It's 33-17 Giants way.
You cannot give them uncontested pill, these boys. As I said, they're Cox plate runners. Townsend off. Whitfield gets it to the big general outside 50. Takes it 55 from home, the big man.
He's a big kick, Jim.
Can set sail to the punt road end, and he wants a piece of it.
He is a huge kick of the footy.
The one thing coming into this game Richmond could not allow GWS is uncontested footy.
And that's what they got out of the middle there, JB. They had 2 players on the wing all by themselves.
They thrive on it. Their whole game depends on it. Patton. He'll kick from nearly 60. Got the trip, Bristol?
Yep, reckon he might have.
All right, here we go. The big man hasn't hit it at all well. It's going to land in the pocket. Numbers here with the Giants. To the front, Stevie wanted it. Aspie there as well. Don't argue by De Boer. Stevie Johnson a squaring ball. Shield couldn't get his hands on it. Away come the Tigers.
So the counter-attack is on here for the Tigers. If successful, the kick out to Castagna. He got a bad bounce and he's on a 2-on-1. Sock off the ground by Rioli. Gained another 35 inside the Tigers forward 50. Call went for the ball. Couldn't pick it up. Tigers arrive in numbers. Butler's there. An opportunity at the back of the pack on that occasion was score. Got the little handball, but they're messing around with it with Davis. And the Tigers, their first evidence of a little bit of pressure, locks the ball in their attacking 50. 3-1-19 GWS. Tigers 2-2-14 on the National Crime Check scoreboard.
Tell you who's been real wobbly duck is the heater. He's had 2 or 3 real ordinary moments, I reckon, already in this game. Here's Hopper around the body, bouncing ball out in front of De Boer. And also Broad, and it's out of play.
Southerly change increasing in the weather here from now on, boys. Pretty strong winds from the bay. Southwesterly winds really increasing, going to get up, no rain likely. So that's the latest forecast, but going to get a bit cooler, as Nez said, with the wind.
Feels like someone's opened up the fridge door. Work to the front. All Richmond at the back of this stoppage. In came Hooley, but was dispossessed. Little kick forward. Bounced off Graham's chest. It's in dispute out of side. Still they'll go forward now. Richmond end on end ball. And again, they go through Heath Shaw's man. This is Castagna. Short ball is good. Gets it to Grigg outside 50.
Grigg's dropped down to 18 degrees here at the MCG. It's 30 earlier this afternoon. Grigg about 55, 60 metres out from the city end goal. Pops it to the top of the square. Very high ball. Caddy's there. Up they fly. No winner in the air. As Ash's notes go everywhere. Cotton on the left boot. Got a little purchase on it. Got enough. Cotton no. Lands right near the goalpost and bounces through the behinds. 3-1-19 as that southerly change, just as we've read out, JB, has now ripped through the window, sent papers flying, and it's considerably colder.
If I was Leon Cameron, I'd be getting the runner out to Heath Shaw and bringing him off for a couple of minutes and just reminding him how good of a player he is.
Handball came to Wilson. High ball down the line. Again, numbers. Patton couldn't take it. Now Richmond ground level will be the ones that end up with it. Dusty Martin squaring, dangerous ball. Toby Green comes in, just couldn't handle it. McIntosh runs into trouble. Outside of the boots, good though. Got it to Rioli, centre half forward. Has to stop and wait. And now he goes with a high one inside 50. Numbers in the air with GWS, ground level, no one can be clean to the back. Taken high, I thought GWS might have been Wilson, will get a free.
Free kick, last line of defence, GWS. It'll be Wilson, the boy out of Mandurah in Western Australia, Ash. Not many have come from there. They've all been good wells. Another one of those. There's the other odd one or two out to Patton. Couldn't hold the mark. Little handball over the top. Caddy intercepted here by Haynes. Very impressive player. Got the handball to Patton. He puts it over the top for the ball to run into. Picked it up very cleanly. Kicked a long ball to Stevie J, who's being held. Or was he holding Rance? No, he says, Stevie J, you pulled Rance down. He's free on the wing.
Yeah, I think the might have got that one right.
Rance short. It's the voice of Wayne Carey. You've got Nath Brown in the back as well. The Seabus special comments. Prelim final, Basher Hooley. Great Southern Stand wing. If you're just joining us, 3-1-19 GWS, Richmond 2-3-13. Richmond kicked those two in the first minute. GWS have kicked the next three. Oh, massive attempted climb. Castagna couldn't take it. Rioli out the back. Tomlinson did well, stood his ground. And just bashed it to the outer side. Bounce is going to be important. Taranto won it. Handball to Stevie. Stevie a quick release to Scully. Goes back through traffic. In the end it's Hopper. Little fumble to Boer. Now Patton. Wanted to go short and then sold a bit of body candy. And now he does go short. And he finds Williams.
Zach Williams it is. He's told to go, not the 15, so Williams takes the man on. Gets around him now, the inching kick to Stevie J. He thought about the handball. He thought about the kick. In the end, he went back to the handball. Gave it to Scully. Had a bit of a fumble. Had to kick it on his non-preferred right boot. Got it down there towards Tomlinson. Unlucky not to get a free. Little clean-up job by Grigg. Got it to McIntosh. Should never kick the ball. That one's off the side of the boot. He's got to handball it every time he gets it, McIntosh. But he continues to want to kick it. Well, of a boundary throw and attacking 50 here for GWS.
What's been noticeable in the last 5 minutes is how much Richmond's tried to slow the game down. GWS just on the fly all the time, using the footy well. Richmond trying to shut it down.
Bob Jane team, Martinez.
David Asprey in trouble here. Boys, Doc, you observed something?
Yeah, a couple of minutes ago, got a nasty knock on the right shoulder. Looks to be an AC joint. The doctor's checking him out now.
Kick from De Boer. Dangerous spot. Oh, nice focus. Real nice focus on the pill from Zach Williams.
He's been brilliant early, Jim, off half-back. He's had his eyes on the footy. He's provided run. That occasion again, great contested mark.
45 out. Not a hell of a lot of angle. Punt road end. Swirly breeze.
Well, we talk about all of these number one draft picks and top 10 draft picks in this team. He's a great story, this kid. He was a rookie.
36 handball receives to 12, Duck.
From Narrandera.
Yep.
And he's been a really good, smart pickup.
So this set shot to make it 4 straight for the Giants to the punt road end. Kick on the way, looks left. It's a real helicopter, horrible one. Misses. 2-3-15 Richmond, 3-2-20 Giants. Triple M National Crime Check scoreboard. Police checks fast and 100% online.
A bit of North Korean sidewinder about it, that one. It was a shocker as Hooley picks it back into play. I tell you what, Phil Davis is inched in front here of Rioli and taking the easiest of marks. Peels the handball off to Hopper. Hopper over the top to Stevie J. Sneaks inside 50 from the boundary line at the punt road end, right to the square and through for a Mana score. So 3-3-21 GWS, Richmond 2-3-15. National Crime Check scoreboard.
I reckon he should have done better than Stevie J. They should have looked inboard, had a couple of players just standing there that he needed to centre it up.
Flostone to bring it back in. So they're under a bit of siege here, the Tigers.
Yeah.
It's going one way, this footy. He just pumps it long and wide. Grimes in good shape here. Williams with him, good fist away. And it goes out of play in front of Whitfield to be thrown in.
So the last 20 minutes combined, Cochin and Martin, only 5 disposals between them for Bosch Tools.
60 out from GWS. Punt road goal.
Still plenty of time left, JB. 6 minutes left in the quarter.
Lob worked it down. Again, this uncontested situation continues. Whitfield high inside forward 50. Patton crashes through a couple. Hopper dispossessed. Good tackle on De Boer. Handball to Whitfield clean. Centering Nurry. Himmelberg can't hang on. Here's McIntosh.
Got to give the handball off here. He's almost run too far. He does give the handball to Castagna, but it was a horrible, horrible handball. He's caught in the tackle here by Delidio. But it locked the ball in, and the umpire said we'll ball it up. But it was a great tackle from the former Tiger.
He can get nervous, McIntosh, can't he?
He can indeed.
When he's got the footy, just didn't know what to do with it there, handball or kick.
Caught in two minds. Made a bad decision in the end. Knockdown here. Little one from Prestia. Trying to poke it out of the pack there. Scully had his feet taken out. Could have almost got a free. Might have been his own man. Williams was there as well. He's had a very good first quarter, Zach Williams.
He has spot on 6 touches in a couple of marks.
True, man. Give us the contested possessions for both teams.
Yeah, GWS are at plus 12 in contested ball.
What about uncontested?
And they're plus 28 in uncontested possessions.
5 minutes remaining here in this first quarter. Has been electric. Tigers deep inside 50. Rioli got a bit of a push from Haynes. And Rioli will get a free kick 40 metres out directly in front. And this is the little bit of luck the Tigers were looking for, I reckon.
Just didn't need to do it, Haynes, did he? He felt the pressure. He was one-on-one and he made contact, and Rioli made sure the umpire saw it.
Well, that's not luck. That's a free kick.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well,
right position, right time. Yep. Ashbury coming back on too, by the way. So he looks okay. Rioli will line up with 4:50 remaining in the first quarter.
Jeez, this would be a great result for Richmond.
Tiger fans wanting something to cheer about. It's been all GWS last 20 minutes. Rioli hammers it sharp. They rise out of their seat, the yellow and black, and he says, come on. And why not? Scores a level, 3-3 apiece on Triple M football.
And that's a good one against the Tide. And I reckon good teams, Brownie, they're able to absorb, and that's what they've been able to do. GWS have dominated the game other than the first couple of minutes. They have dominated this, but they haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard. So the Tigers are able to absorb that, go to the other end and kick a goal. Is a really, really good result for them.
They've had their looks at GWS as well, but they haven't been able to knock that blow.
Chemist Warehouse replaced Green. Rioli, the celebration. Nice. Celebrate footy finals. Big brand vitamins, cosmetics now half price. Chemist Warehouse, T's and C's apply. So we're all locked up 3-3 apiece. And we're back in the middle. Lob works it down, but Prestia brings it away low and hard. Touch on it will end up on the ground. Here's the goal kicker, Rioli, just over around the footy. Whitfield clean. Back to Shaw, who got around Rioli, and a low buzzer. Missed its intended target on the fly anyway, but look at Josh Kelly just extend away. Now he has to go on the right foot high. Inside 50, Rance just got rid of his direct opponent with brutality.
He did it against Himmelberg, who's kicked 2 goals in this first quarter. Rance handball to Prestia, almost ran out of tarmac. Back to Rance. Rance to Ellis. Ellis goes off here to Broad. So they go from the northern half-back flank to the southern half-back flank. Grimes is going to have to chase this down along the ground. He does. Nice clean pick-up. Now the kick's got to be good to Lambert, and he is. He wheels back inside. Got it to Nankervis. Thought about who he should have given it first up. Nankervis with the kick out wide. He's not really a designated kicker, and that's why went straight to Heath Shaw, who sends a high ball up there and couldn't get hold of it.
Lob missed it badly. Inside 50. Here for the Tigers. Dusty hits out at the footy and takes it. So a horrible, nervous moment for Lob on the outer side. Ends up with Dusty over the top caddy. And he's about 10 out directly in front. He handballs further afield, and it's a goal. They made hard work of it. Castagna, the goal kicker. The Tigers hit the front.
Well, what happened then, Duck, was Caddy sprang straight off the bench. He came straight down this outer side. Nobody saw him because he ran around the boundary and just found himself with 100 metres of space. Dusty gave it over the top. Not sure about the handball at the end. They kicked the goal in the end anyway. I'd rather him go back and kick that goal.
To be honest, I'd rather Dusty Martin go back and kick the goal. What is he, 25 out directly in front? The only thing you can do there is stuff it up.
Yep.
They had 2 possessions there that they didn't need to have.
Yep.
But they got away with it.
National Crime Check scoreboard, police checked fast and 100% online. Tigers by a goal with exactly 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Castagna kicks his first goal of the game. 4 goals to 3 basically. Out of the middle, Shield almost got it. Kelly's had an electric first quarter. Intercepted here by Cotchin. Cotchin goes deep to Martin. It's 2-on-1 against Martin. And Shaw marks in the back pocket for GWS.
Did that nicely, and then the kick's good to Tomlinson out of side, relieving. How long have we got? Ash, I'll get you to get me the exact time left. I think it might be 2:50. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, 2:41, JB.
He's done a great effort to be in front here, Richmond.
Yep, short to Scully. Scully just high and long. Lob to the front, through a couple of sets of hands. Beautiful pick up to Ranto. And then he goes around the body high. Asprey going back, favoured by the kick, takes it. Patton with him, half back for the Tigers.
Duck, a lot of their kicks inside forward 50 for GWS at the moment are snap balls which are high and hard to mark.
The voice of Nathan Brown, C-Bus Super Special comments. Good mark taken by Tomlinson. His dad's a dentist in Collins Street. He's my dentist.
Ooh, hello.
There he is. Tomlinson out there from centre wing. Hammers it wide towards the boundary line, looking for, not finding Himmelberg. And Himmelberg just a bit of a limp up there. Grabbed the back of the right leg as well. And the free kick will go to Rance, who's starting to work into things as well, isn't he?
He is.
So Rance from half back kicks it towards the Toyota logo on centre wing. Up they fly. Davis swatted it down with an aggressive punch. Grimes had it, but it was immediately wrapped up in the tackle. McIntosh funneled out the handball to Hooley, who didn't have it all. It was a loose high ball. McIntosh went again. GWS fighting on. Hooley dashed out with a footy. Left foot kick down the field here. Good looking ball. Off hands. Couldn't get it. Tigers do. Castagna fumbled it. Now Tomlinson's got it, and they're away.
Here's Kelly, but he walks into a pile of strife. A two-blade tackle. That's tough. I thought the previous one was more likely than that. In the end, they'll get the free anyway, Richmond, and it's Butler.
Well, that's that pressure we talk about. 2 Tigers tackling there.
So Butler with the footy, half forward. Wants to play on and does. Inside 50, long ball. Caddy at the back, fisted away. Caddy went and got it. And then he walked into strife. And it's going to be a ball up, about 20 out from the Richmond Goal City end. They lead it by 6 points.
Up by a goal here on the National Crime Check scoreboard. Just over a minute remaining here, and it's about 15 or 20 metres out from the Richmond City end goal. Umpire Nichols throwing it up. Lob doing the ruck work. Knocked it back to the defensive goal square. Whitfield with some fancy footwork got it to Tomlinson. Tomlinson out wide to Haynes. Missed it. So this will be a locked inside 50 stoppage for the Tigers, which they'll love. 25 metres out from their City end goal.
And already the Tigers have had 10 tackles in their forward half compared to GWS 4.
They've dragged this game back nicely, Richmond. A 10-minute burst in this middle term from GWS looked ominous. Down to Kelly. And then Cornelio just high on the boot. Toby Green has to go back with the flight. It was well done, Hooley. He takes it 60 from home. Low and penetrating with the left boot. Revolt! Hands on it, couldn't take it. Davis, end on end, just pounds it out of there. It's going to come back with interest, though. It's all Tigers. Ellis tracks the footy. Handball back to Rance. And Rance will go sideways. This kick needs to work. Look out. It just did. And Broad was good enough.
Oh, he made a bit of a mess of it. The kick to Aspie was not good. So the Tigers lose 30, but they got possession. Now Rance to spot up Hooley. Too high. Kicked it straight down the throat of Shield. He was manhandled. Probably didn't have the footy. Unlucky not to get a free. Got bowled over Shield by an aggressive Aspie. Ball spills out here. An opportunity for Williams. Chiseling to the lead of Patton and got it. Patton's marked 35 out, 45 angle. Handball over the top, running into an open goal. Siren's gone.
No.
Green was running into the open goal. The siren blew the moment he got the footy, and he was 10 metres short with no one between he and the goal. Quarter time at the MCG.
Well, the runners.
That's why you go back and kick and duck.
That's right. That handball was on, but that's why when you're in that position, go back and kick it.
And the Tigers supporters would be holding their collective breath here, I would suggest. They lead by a goal, 4-3-27 to GWS, 3-3-21.
Nick Maxwell's the runner, Bristol. What about getting out and telling your boys we're inside the last 30 seconds of the game? That's what they're for.
Absolutely. Shield going down to the rooms. And I also saw a Richmond player as well. Not sure who that was. Might have been Asprey. Check it out. The McDonald's Triple M rocks. Finals footy. Quarter time at the MCG. Pretty even quarter of footy. GWS 3-3-21. Trail Richmond 4-3-27. Richmond by 1 goal on the Triple M McDonald's scoreboard there. Ash, let's get some Bosch Tool stats to start it off.
Yeah, Trent Cotchin, number 1 ranked player for the Tigers. 6 disposals and 4 clearances.
Bosch Power Tools, good, better Bosch. Seabus Super Special Comments, award-winning super for the building and construction industry. Nathan Brown and Wayne Carey to start it off.
Great start by the Tigers, kicked the first 2 goals, but then GWS dominated in all facets of the game other than the scoreboard. Tigers able to just hang on there. Rance making a couple of mistakes early, so a couple of nervous players still out there, BT. Game on. This is close.
Bob Jane, T. Martin, Rioli.
More going on down in the rooms than there was at the quarter-time addresses, boys. Dylan Shield is down in the rooms. He was there with the Doc, still hasn't emerged. And Kane Lambert, the opening goal kicker for Richmond, down in the rooms, as is David Asprey with that shoulder injury. So concerns for both teams right now.
Thanks for that, and there's Bob Jane, Team Arts, Nath Brown doing a great job with Wayne Carey. Seabus special comments as we get ready to start this second term. It's just a 6-point spread in favour of the Tigers. Ball to be bounced as we get underway. High lob. Here's Martin out of the centre. Taken in 2 or 3 tackles. GWS with a little mini clearance. Stevie stripped of the footy. Hacked out of there forward by the Giants. Going to land at half forward. Grimes, after Taranto lost his feet. Handball to Julio on his left side. Instead of that, he hooks a high ball around the body, and it's marked by Cornelio.
It's fair to say Martin played that whole first quarter exclusively inside forward 50. Now he's in the middle.
Cornelio, pretty ordinary ball, but it's fumbled by a couple, and then Curvis takes it in the end. Inside defensive 50 for the Tigers. No Giant anywhere near the land of that ball, as the short one is okay, and it gets to Broad. Inside defensive 50. Just going to have to punch it down the line. He does so with a high one. Lots in the air. Martin, one of them to the back. The footy's going to land. Rioli, Ward. Rioli worried him out of it. Williams went and got it. Ward then busted his way through a couple. Good handball. Cornelio. And then Whitfield. Back to Heath Shaw. End-on-end ball from Heath Shaw. Again, kicked it straight to the Richmond defence. Flostone with some nice hard running. Here's McIntosh.
McIntosh again. Handball sloppy, but got it to Brandon Ellis. Cotton now to tidy it up. Here's the speedy Edwards. A bounce. 2 through the centre circle. Can go a third if he want. Really ordinary kick, but it'll land on the half skip with Riewoldt. Riewoldt on his left to the boundary. Centering ball, Castagna. Good composure in the end from Riewoldt. Castagna's marked at 15 metres out of a 45-degree angle, and he'll line up for his second.
Great movement by Richmond off half-back. Ended up with Edwards, and he saw Riewoldt. The kick was a bit scrubby, as you said, Brian, but Riewoldt had enormous time. It was good vision by Edwards.
Penetrating run as Castagna, even from this position, wants to kick it around the corner. And he has missed. Now, I want to describe it to you. He's 15 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Come on, Bristol.
And he's decided to kick it around the corner.
That's real poxy.
And that's why he's kicked 15-16 for the year.
Georgie.
That's not good enough, Georgie. Is to himself the heater. Runs to the pocket and then high and long. Lob caught behind. I thought he had a piece of his opponent's jumper. Whitfield getting involved in this game. Oh, they're out. De Boer takes it. He's got a heap of room to move. Should take all the space. Scully, a busting run. Even further afield, Himmelberg. He goes to that play. What about the kick? Himmelberg broken up in the air. And now the cavalry arrive for the Tigers.
Wow, that was brilliant. I think it was Rance that got the hand in there.
It was.
Edwards again. Thank you, Dark. The ball out wide now in the hands of Dion Prestia, the human meatball. Couple of bounces, got it to sub and stand centre wing. Now the right foot sleeper to Castagna again. He almost marks. Umpire said his hands were dropped. Push him said. A push said the umpire. Castagna. This time 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Look at those eyes darting around, Nath.
Big eyes.
Come on, Georgie.
Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay there. Just showing the brilliant work by Rance. Celebrate Footy Finals with all the big brand vitamins and cosmetics now half price at Chemist Warehouse. T's and C's apply.
Lucky to get this free kick on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen. I thought Haynes did a really good job. He said front on contact, he only took the footy.
So Castagna, as a result of what Brownie's talking about, 48 metres out, very close to the man on the mark. Horrible kick. Rioli launches off hands and out of bounds. No, it's kept alive. Umpire said play on. Now it's out of bounds. And a boundary throw in deep down there. Mary Meadows and Dr. Rowan White downstairs.
Kane Lambert and David Asprey have come back up. Asprey with his shoulder strap, but there's big concerns over Dylan Shield. He looked a little groggy, and even Leon Cameron yelled at Wayne Campbell at the quarter time break. There was a bit of confusion. Doc, do you think a concussion test for him right now?
Yeah, he's down there with Dr. Ben Barassi, the assistant doctor. There's no doubt when he came off down to the rooms, he was indicating he was having difficulty probably with his vision. The doc's still down there going through the concussion test. Not looking good at this point, Nez.
Lob and Riewoldt doing the ruck work. Riewoldt goes to track the footy. Edwards has it broken out of his hands. Here's Dusty, the dangerous one, the don't argue, the snaps across the face. And Delidio takes a nice relieving mark. Ooh. The first Tiger reaction.
Second touch only for Delidio.
Davis to Scully. Scully wants to bust a long one down the line. Himmelberg rants. Himmelberg's got a couple of beaten out ground level. Broad, one of them, out of play, good result. The boundary throw in, great southern stand wings.
JB, the last 20 minutes, Richmond up by +5 now in uncontested ball, and Josh Kelly only 3 possessions.
And just something to ponder, boys, with Shield under the concussion look at the moment, Cochin it was that got him. It puts him under some threat because there now is the concussion. The thing that'll probably save him is he got up and played on, but he's since come off. Wonder why the Docs didn't go out initially, which is interesting. 7-point margin, out of bounds, Richmond in front.
Thought he played pretty well for that 10-minute period after that hit happened too.
Maybe a delayed situation with confronting here then, so boundary throw in.
Definitely got something to look at though, Cochin.
Half forward.
Oh, no.
And this will be thrown in again. Boundary umpire didn't get it into the spot he should have, and umpire Matty Nichols rightly recalled it and says, do it again, mate, or probably won't be doing the granny. Boundary throw in from the wee man out there, lob behind, knocked down Williams, who had a rip the first quarter, fumbled there. Edwards banged it inside the Tiger, punt road forward 50, out of bounds on the full. Let's get down to Nez downstairs.
Kane Lambert just doing a few run-throughs. Doc, the ankle, you think?
Yeah, right, ankle. Had it restrapped in that quarter-time break. He looks good.
They've settled all right. Duck, I reckon the Tigers, they're starting to get back into where they want to be in this game.
Yeah, they're getting repeat entries. They've just got to make the most of this dominance.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the winner of today, the team that can be efficient going inside 50.
Tomlinson, long and high and wide. It's fisted away from Lob, picked up by Grimes. His kick's going to land with Jacob Hopper. Quick release, handball to Ward on the wing. Ward tried to get past Rioli. Brilliantly done by Rioli to break it out of his hands. Now he'll be holding the pill. Wonderful stuff from Daniel Rioli.
Oh, ripping stuff. He's got the free just forward of the wing on the edge of the centre square. Grimes wanted it in the middle, but I suggest Daniel's in a better position. He's a better kick, although that wasn't his best. A very high ball. Here comes Dusty. Phil Davis goes in, knocks it without anyone else contesting to the boundary line. Marking contest, said the umpire. Over the line, out of bounds it goes. So we'll throw it in. Richmond forward end of the ground here. The punt road end. They lead it by 7 points on the Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Forward half this term, please, Ash.
67% in favour of the Tigers.
It's starting to go nicely for them. Ball on the ground. Cochin, ragdoll, got the handball away. The ball was good. Here's Jacob Hopper on the wing. Lowers the eyes. The kick's pretty good. Gets it to Green, centre of the G. Rance with him, so Rance is up the ground for this entry. Short ball is okay to Scully. Runners everywhere. He goes sideways, Scully, and that is Josh Kelly. Might have caught one across the mush.
I think,
from Grimes, but he's got it 40 out, tight angle.
I tell you what, Riewoldt's played a great team role all year. I would advise him right now to stop arguing with the umpires and start focusing on getting on the end of this football, because he's been non-existent so far today, and he spent most of the time arguing with the umpires.
Josh Kelly, Ash, please.
He's racked up 11 disposals.
This man's made for September. You just know it. Set shot. City end is there. Wow.
Good play.
What about this kid? He is the juice. 4-3-27 GWS, 4-4-28 Richmond, Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
So we saw Richmond do that in the first quarter, where they were getting dominated by GWS, go to the other end. That's exactly what GWS have done on this occasion. Richmond dominating, but just able to have the composure to go forward. And you're right, he's all class, this guy. Brilliant in the first quarter. And if you start hitting the scoreboard, you just go to a whole new level.
The voice of Wayne Carey, Seabass Super Special comments. The McDonald Tripling Rocks Finals footy. McDonald's monopoly. 1 point ball game. Tigers by that point. 8.5 clicks gone in the second quarter. Full house at the MCG. Amazing scenes we've seen in the build-up to this game. Back in the middle we go. Patton's gone for a spell, knocked it down to Ward, gave it off to Williams, got around a couple, eventually intercepted, and Cochrane got coat-angered by Williams. And Trent Cotchin's got the free in the centre circle. Gets up, immediately plays on. A brilliant smother by Williams. Got it to Green. A little bit of a fumble there by Williams. Now they go with Taranto. Neat little kick looking for Kelly. Picked it up, handball over the top. Lob's got to go. Beautifully done in the end by Presti as he takes it towards the boundary line. Now he gives it back to Broad. Broad's forced a high ball one. Rioli sits under it for an eternity. And now GWS.
Williams end on end ball, no good. Kicked it straight into the hands of Rance, who wants to release. He goes across the ground. High ball's going to sit in the air. Dangerous here. Tomlinson might have gotten the back of Grigg. And Grigg will take the free. They get advantage anyway. And Grigg just sits it over the top. Fist away was good. Graham, the marking player, so an out of bounds result out of side on the wing.
GWS could have a little bit more composure around 50 and entering inside forward 50. They'd have a lead here. At the moment, they just keep bombing in. They're just a bit stage fright going inside forward 50.
4-4-28 Richmond, 4-3-27 GWS. Tigers by a point. We may have the tight final we've been looking for. Around the body ball, Stevie parked under it. Might have given away a free, Stevie. He has. Flostone gets it. Stevie J's numbers, please, Ash.
7 disposals.
One decent final, round one. They've all been one-sided after that, but this one's got a nice look about it. Asprey, centre-half back. Slides it over the top, and Hooley's run onto it at half-back member's side. Wants to honour the run of Flostone. He won't get there. This is a dangerous ball now. Stevie let him get away far too easily. Broken up in the air, though, by Lobb. It comes back to Stevie J. Just hasn't got the wheels to get off. Here is Whitfield, moves beautifully, the vision supreme, gets it to Kelly, lines up, and kicks another one, no. Hits the post halfway up. Down to you, Nez.
Dylan Shield looks like he might be done for the game, boys. He's still in the rooms. The doctor has just come out and indicated that he's a little bit wobbly and not seeing right. And that is huge news for Trent Cotchin. I believe from memory that Trent Cotchin also has 2 strikes from fines this year as well. So it won't take much for him to miss a grand final should the Tigers win.
Yeah, for those minor indiscretions, kick back into play here, marked by Caddy. So that is a big one. Dylan Shield concussed here as a result of a knock from Cotchin. Here's Martin pressing, gave the little handball out wide here to Lambert. Lambert now sizing them up inside 50. Brilliant kick. And he finds Jack Graham. And if you're wondering who Jack Graham is, he plays for Richmond and he's out there. Jack Graham from 30, but on a difficult angle. It's the first time I've seen him today. How many's he had, Ash?
Yeah, only 4 disposals.
Jack Graham. Here he is. Southern stand side, punt road end. Tigers could do with some relief. Second quarter's got 11 3/4 minutes left. Graham mungles it and kicks it out of bounds on the full to his near side. Let's get back to you, Nez.
Dylan Shield has just re-emerged from the rooms. He's sitting at the back, very despondent, close to tears, boys.
Just a big story there, Dylan Shield, and the hit that came from the captain. Cotchin as the relieving kick for the Giants goes high and wide. Taranto in front, couldn't hang on. Patton in the air as well. McIntosh stepped through and then was dispossessed. Ball on the ground, a number of them descend on top of it. Just back to Jack Graham, Bristol. A Tea Tree Gully boy, North Adelaide in the Sandful. Okay. Tea Tree Gully's a nice little eastern suburbs, but almost semi-bogan part of that city.
Averaging 9 tackles a game this year.
Not a great area.
No. At Lambert, little relieving handball. McIntosh runs onto it. End on end, 1-on-1. Involving Caddy. Tomlinson a little panic, and then Davis went to ground too easily. Beautiful pick up, Haynes. Tomlinson around the body, but here is the man we spoke about, Cotchin. Don't argue on his former teammate in Deledio, didn't work. Haynes back to Tomlinson. Relieving handball's good to Whitfield.
And the Tiger pressure, they get out of it here, GWS. Scully, quietish, little low ball here to ball, fumble. In that time, Floston closed in, got the handball to Green. He was decapitated by Broad, and he's got a free Toby Green. Right on the Melbourne logo on the northern wing. Got the short kick into Wilson. Wilson with a ripper. Finds Ward 45 metres out. directly in front, City end.
Hasn't done a lot so far today, Deledio. In fact, he's done squat, but that tackle on Cochin, it almost was a saving goal tackle, and now it looks like maybe providing a goal for him.
So Kellen Ward, as a result, will line up at the City end, directly in front of goal. He's going to have to kick at 45, won't be a problem for him. He's already kicked one. This to put him a goal in front here. Mid part of the second, Ward eases it. Ooh. Nicely done. GWS get another 2 in a row here in the second. And they lead by 1 goal on the Beaumont Tiles scoreboard. He's kicked his second.
Yeah, I agree, Brownie. Great tackle. Green on centre wing there, just knew exactly what he was doing. As soon as he took that footy, talk about guys that he didn't duck, but he knew that the player was going to come from behind. Just lowered himself at the knee. Yeah, sagged, got the high contact. Should have been play on, JB. That's the one that they want to take out of the game. Shouldn't have been a free kick. They made the most of it.
Well, I would even go the other way and start paying him holding the ball and just eliminate it from the game. It's not a good look, but it's now a 6-point lead to GWS, who have kicked the last 2. In fact, the only 2 of this quarter. And with the Kelly poster, they should have actually kicked 3. We're back in the middle. Lob down. Now the free kick is going to go GWS's way for a hold. And it's going to go to lob.
Just looking at the Chemist Warehouse replay screen of the Cochin.
Ward out of the middle, low and hard. It gets to the back. Stevie lurking. Just couldn't get boot to ball. Patton went and got it. It's outside of the boot to Stevie J, but he can't get a handle. And it goes over to be thrown in. Keep going, Doug.
Yeah, just saw the incident again on the Chemist Warehouse replay screen. Yeah, the Cochin one. He goes low and hard, but the footy is right there. He's entitled to protect himself while he goes for the footy.
So you reckon he's okay?
No case to answer for mine.
Okay, so Shield won't take any further part in the game by the looks as a result of that knock, which Wayne Carey says looks okay to him. Here's Hopper trying to show him the footy. Cochin went and got it in the back pocket. Tigers under enormous pressure here at the moment. Hopper again. Little handball to De Boer, who's been fumbly today. And he goes for the right foot banana that also misses. And a minor score. So 35 plays 28. Down to you, Nez.
Boys, I've just had confirmation from the AFL. Trent Cochin is on 2 strikes for the punch to Lockie Neal as well as the gut punch. So it will only take a fine and he's out.
Kelly won the footy and then Green went and got it. And he was taken hard. It bounces wide. Haynes leads back in the race. They're starting to get a hold of some regular footy here, GWS. Good squaring ball to Lob. Lob's got the heater on. He's Shaw, centre of the G. To Davis. Centre half forward now. He goes inside 50 to the big general. Was it broken up in the air? Yes, by Rance. And Ward, the snap's not going to come back far enough, I don't reckon. It's going to miss. Starting to rain shots at goal to the right of screen.
So they're runners that are doing the damage at the moment. Jim Whitfield, Scully, Kelly, Hopper, Matty De Boer even getting on the end of it. A lot of the runners.
The other thing with the MRP, depending on who wins, but they should be having it tomorrow. So whoever is in it can get on with the game. If that happens to be the Tigers, Cochin. Kick back into play from Floston. Offhand Scully. Gave a quick little give to Hopper, who's coming into the game. Got a handball to Ward. He's near the boundary line, 50 metres out. Puts it to the top of the square. McIntosh a little under the footy. He's been closed down here by Kelly. Kelly and McIntosh go at it. McIntosh just got the kick away. Now Rioli arrives. Little ball here to Haynes. Haynes picks up the loose one. Brushes the tackle. Got the handball away. And a trip will be against the Tigers, Townsend. And how many's Townsend had today, Ash?
Yeah, Bosch saw stats, only 3 possessions yet at the scoreboard.
You get the feeling with all this footy, though, they need to start kicking goals, GWS. It's still only 8 points the difference, and they have dominated.
Haynes the handoff. Wilson to go inside 50. Low and hard he goes. Again, no one in the air. Through the hands of Caddy. Asprey just a spinning handball. And then Jack Revolt with a little smart-ass Parkeroon tap on that did work. Cochin over the top, looking for Ellis, and Jack Revolt gets a hand back on the footy, and his low ball, not great, not having a great afternoon, Jack. Here's Core. Well done, Dusty Martin, to break it up. Forward handball to Edwards. Further afield, Butler. Now they've got runners. Long ball forward, Caddy. Did he take it? No, it wasn't. It was Townsend, and I reckon they're going to play it. Chop of the arms. So this is a big kick for Townsend. Set shot from 45, left half forward. Again, they will drag one back against the runner play if he can kick this.
Well, he's 8-0 from set shots.
Tough one. He'll kick it from about 50. And he's on about a 45, 50 degree angle. Left forward pocket punt road end. Take a very good kick.
Tough kick from there.
This is what they've managed to do in this game, is get them back when they need it, Richmond. Because it's been all GWS last 5 minutes. Townsend set shot. It's going left. And it just sneaks in for a behind. 5-6-36 GWS. 4-5-29 Richmond. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
You can tell with the blustery conditions, Duck, they're just not sure where to start them, are they? Well, that one in particular.
Yeah, you're right, Peter. That one had to go to the right post, didn't it?
I'd be going middle of the middle every time.
7 points, the margin. Nathan Brown and Wayne Carey on Triple M football. Nathan Wilson from fullback. Kicks in, finds Hopper. Hopper, uncontested mark. Now gives it off to Zach Williams. Played a cracking game today. His kick is precise for Patton. Patton just forward of the wing on the northern side of the ground. Looking to play on out the back is Delidio if he wants him. He now tries to draw. He's got another player in Kelly on the boundary side of the man on the mark. Kelly accepts the handball, then goes with a precision kick. Got it on there to Cornelio. Now Williams kick inside 50 was a mongrel. And Nankervis gets back and takes a juggly chest mark.
He's done well, Nankervis. He's done that on a few occasions now. Got back in the hole.
Edwards takes it and then goes at half back. And he's got to come back and take his kick. No, it's 50. I reckon they're away. Might have been better for him to have continued.
I reckon Wilson's done his shoulder too there, trying to spoil that.
So
he's hurt an existing one, yeah.
Edwards goes into the centre, and that's Ellis, true centre of the G. As you said, Nath, if they can tidy up going inside 50 Giants, it might be a very different scoreboard. Ellis just hoists a high one. Here under the footy is Caddy. Oh, he had a good look at it too. Busted up in the air. Down to Cochin in the pocket. Left foot centering ball from him. Coming from everywhere. Well done, Scully. Broke it up. And Graham's now held up in a tackle. Going to have a ball up, 30 out.
Enormous courage by two players there. Caddy came back with one way. Scully came the other. It was a big clash.
7-point lead here with GWS, and the ball's 25 metres out from the Tiger Punt Road goal mouth. Patton doing the ruck work, knocks it at his feet. Martin read it beautifully. Faked the handball, then the push off as well. Touched the ball on the deck. Now he swings onto the left boot. Martin, high ball. Prestia is under it and he marks. 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle, Dion Prestia. This will be interesting to see how much height he gives it for the win and where he starts it.
And I know you talk about goal kicking a lot, PT, but you're right. You've got to know what you do personally with the footy. So if you do have right to left, and under these conditions where it is blustery, that right post is a good gauge if you have right to left. If you use it the other way, then clearly not.
Haven't kicked the goal in the second quarter. Prestia hung it out and got it off the side of the boot. It was a horrible kick in the end, and the mark is taken by GWS right on the line.
Underground handball relieving. Butler's going to come and pick it up, and he got ragdolled. That's on the ball. Phil Davis with some smart ass. Just keep it simple in a prelim with your man bun and your weird ass moustache. They were very lucky to get out of that. Tomlinson handball sideways, got it to Heath Shaw. Heath Shaw's ball is nice to Jacob Hopper, who's just going to stop because there ain't much down the line for him. So he's got lob long. That's where he's going to go. Asprey with lob. Rance as well to fly. Fist away. Numbers at ground level though. Graham picked it off. Little short one. Good to Rioli. Rioli to Prestia. Prestia back to Rioli outside 50. Rioli runs 250. That looks better. It's there.
Oh.
Brilliant.
Sweet.
Daniel Rioli got a couple. And the Tigers bite back 5-6, 5-5. GWS by a point. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
It was going to take something special in, Duck, wasn't it? And Rioli single-handedly got the footy, gave it off, and then just put yardage on the players behind him and hit it sweetly. They were going inside forward 50, was coming back out. They were struggling to get any there. It was going to take a moment of brilliance, and that's exactly what they got.
It is going to come down to the team that, as I said before, you look at GWS, had some opportunities inside 50, haven't been able to make the most of it, and then Rioli kicks a free goal like that, so...
Bosch Tool stats.
Yeah, top two ranked players in this quarter. Hopper with 11 and Ward with 7 possessions and a major.
This is the final we've been waiting for since the draw in Adelaide a few weeks back. Tigers go forward again. Davis bundled out of the way will get a free kick. Davis is free, paid by the umpire furthest away. And Davis now just goes short ball and finds Heath Shaw. Heath Shaw in the back pocket. Short and wide to Scully, the prolific runner. He skirts one low and hard and finds Tomlinson on the half-back flank.
Listen to the yellow and black army starting to get involved. They got a bit quiet there for a while. Beautiful goal by Rioli. What about that name at this club? Just extraordinary as he goes in search of Patton. Push. And it's going to be Asprey with the free. I think his uncle was at Bristol, the great Morris.
Yes, it was.
And what a superstar that man was. Norm Smith medal in the losing game. Short Asprey, and he gets to Hooley.
Best tackler of his time.
Yep. South Fremantle superstar in the waffle all the way back to Ellis.
Had a brother, Sebastian, who was unbelievably quick.
Yep, and also full trick bag.
Yep.
As we go all the way back, and this is Rance inside defensive 50. Just a calming little moment here. Rance long and wide. It gets to Patton, who was interfered with. Unrealistic attempt, you heard, so it's going to come back to the general.
Yeah, good call from the umpire, that.
Patton it is with the free, as you say, JB. Just backward of the wing. 23 and 3/4 minutes gone here in the second. GWS by 1 point. Patton looking for the short little ball along the boundary line, and he found it.
We've got 2 extras behind the footy at the moment, the Tigers. That's why they can't get through. There's no easy avenue. They have to go long down the line and hope for the best.
Johnson marks, and now he wheels and goes with a horrible kick, Stevie J. Just not a good style of operation, as Kelly's left there to mop it up. Funneled the handball to Lob. Lob, little one back over the top, and they run into trouble over the line and out of bounds. We'll throw it in, 70 out from GWS's goal as Grimes looked to put a finger out. Just seeing the shot on the Chemist Warehouse screen here of Dylan Shield, if you just joined us. Got a bit of a knock from Cochin. He's out with concussion. Duck says it'll be okay. Nothing to worry about for Cochin.
Rory Lobb's had a few pungent moments in this game as Deledio went to ground. Good handball on the up. Got it to Townsend. It's going to be a free kick to Deledio.
Keep your knee out of him.
You heard the umpire, nicely picked up on the Triple M mics, exclusive of course.
Greg into Deledio. He's actually in his wedding party, just told him to keep his knees out.
And Deledio high and long. Again, no one in the marking contest at all, and Rance able to bring it away. Handball to Lambert. To Grigg, to Edwards. This is the stuff that they can do from halfback. Rioli now, long releasing ball. Davis got real work to do. Free kick.
Richmond downfield.
Downfield.
Against you, holding.
You want Dusty Martin to have it.
So it's a downfield free. This to give Richmond back the lead. And it's Dusty Martin, so it's in good hands. Didn't see it. Chemist Warehouse replay, tell us.
I think probably Constania was the closest player. He was running back with the flight, but Dusty was smart to grab it. He's not kicking the ball all that well at the moment, is George.
So, set shot to give the Tigers back the lead. Listen up. Oh, no. Horrid. Nearly out in the full.
Umpires have been really good so far. They've allowed this game to roll on. Picking out free kicks like that behind the play, I'm not sure about that.
5-6 apiece. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Nick Maxwell out there coaching. I've been watching him. He's the runner for GWS. He's been out there for an eternity. He's not delivering messages. He's actually coaching on the ground. AFL are going to wind that up as Shaw bounces from fullback, goes very, very wide. Patton might get to it, and he was held. And this umpire, Sean Ryan, has done a great job today. And Patton's got the free at half-back.
You're right, Peter. He's just standing in the centre of the ground, Maxwell. Now he's telling him where to go. He's pointing, saying, kick it there.
Got to look at this little bit of vision here and do something about this. Short ball to Canelio was knocked away over the line and out of bounds. And we'll throw it in right in front of the Tiger bench. And scores a level here at the MCG.
But then when there were seconds left in the first term and he should have been telling them what the clock was doing, it didn't happen. That's the stuff you want from your runner.
He's still on the ground, standing at centre half-back for GWS, giving directions.
Lob, Nankervis.
Put some weight on him.
Prestia. Cochin around the body. 2-on-1 situation here. The bounce of the ball should work for Tomlinson, but his handball missed. Caddy sliced through. Caddy with some nice candy. Rioli, the September man. Oh no. He went without the footy, but Caddy went back and got it. High ball now. 1-on-1 Dusty Martin. Back came Deledio, had a fumble. And it's conceded through for a behind. Richmond lead it by a point as we get somewhere near half-time. 5-7, 5-6. Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
He's coming off the ground now, Maxwell, so that's 5 minutes he spent on the ground. And that'll be looked at.
He's going back on now, but he's back on.
Yeah, well, talking footy, we'll have a look at that on Wednesday on the 7 Network. 27 and a half gone. Triple M Rocks football here at the MCG. Cracking game of football, tight game of football. Tigers by 1 point.
Rance is down. Rance is down. Stevie J's there. Something's happened, BT.
Behind the plate. He looks like he's a little winded. Might have caught one in the guts. Floston comes up and Rance now back on his feet, but not feeling well. There's been no reaction from him towards Johnson. Johnson goes back and gives him a bit of a knock. This is all about 60 metres off the ball.
Stevie's saying you're kidding yourself, Alex.
48 seconds to go before half-time.
Thank you, Nathan Brown on Triple M Football. Ward got the stoppage straight to Hooley. Couldn't handle it. Green was there as well. Got pushed forward in the tackle. Green with a handball wide to Shaw. And Shaw around the body with a high floater. And then it'll go out of bounds on the full. So Richmond will have one last chance with 30 seconds remaining in the half here.
Half-time coming. Damo with the MRP latest. Also grand final tickets as this one's long and lob. That's better. Took a nice big contested mark. So we've got seconds left. As I said, Damo at half-time to tell us exactly how likely the MRP are to convene earlier than normal, given it's grand final week. Lob long down the line. Nankervis screen. Is there time enough here for the Tigers? Cochin worried out of it. Cornelio went and got it, gave it to Patton. Patton's handball back to Shaw. Shaw just long down the line. There's a siren. Look out. A big second half of the prelim still to come.
Johnson's just clipped Lance again up. He goes up and apologises.
It was an accident, I reckon.
Yeah, it was, but he still got him. And Rance not all that happy about it. Umpire Razor Ray Chamberlain,
Here's the replay.
who's the emergency today, went over to him immediately and sorted that out and separated Stevie J. He says to Caddy, nothing to go on about here as Caddy and Stevie J come together. And things, I just get the feeling something's going to happen here at the moment. And we're just going to wait and have a look at this as GWS gather, Richmond gather. It's Richmond by a point at half-time. The umpires have stayed on the ground. Normally they would have disappeared by now. And they're waiting for all this to settle down. Let's get down to Nez and Dr. Rowan White.
Boys, just letting our audience know out there that the Giants are playing a man down since quarter time. Dylan Shield out with concussion, very despondent, just getting to the boys now. He was close to tears when the call was made to end his day, which is bad news for Trent Cotchin. He's the man that caught him high. Doc, it doesn't look great for Dylan.
No, certainly a delayed concussion, as BT alluded to. In fact, when he had that head knock, the head knock wasn't seemingly the issue, was his right shoulder everyone was concerned about. The trainer actually went out to him and gave him the thumbs up. So a delayed concussion with that visual issue that has kept him off as he failed the concussion test. Just one other quick thing, BT. Brett Delidio looking a little bit lame on that left leg. 2 minutes in that last quarter, so we'll keep a close eye on him.
Bob Jane, Teammaster Dr. Rowan White there. Triple M Beaumont Tile Scoreboard, by the way, save 33% off quality DTA diamond cutting tools exclusive to Beaumont. It's 5-7-37 the Tigers, GWS 5-6-36 the McDonald's. Triple M rocks finals footy.
We're back half-time here at the MCG prelim final. It gets no better. For IGA Liquor, of course, try the new Iron Jack Lager, available in-store now. And you heard from Damo that we're unlikely to get any change to the normal MRP sort of scheduling, if you like, even though it is grand final week. So that'll be interesting. We're talking about the hit on Dylan Shield. He's going to play no further part in the game by Trent Cotchin. And we've got Wayne Carey in here with us, as well as the boys who did a great job just prior to the break. Duck, your thoughts?
Yeah, just on that incident. Cotchin, obviously Dylan Shield has bent over to pick up the footy. Cotchin comes in sideways to grab the footy. Now, you're entitled to protect yourself when you're going for the football. There is accidental contact with Cotchin's shoulder, obviously to Shield's chin, but if Cotchin goes in front ways, the same as Shield, then they clash heads.
Yep.
And both of them get hurt. So you are entitled to protect yourself when you're going for the footy, and that's all Trent Cotchin was doing. So no case to answer for mine.
If you're the GWS coaching group in the rooms that half-time, Duck, I think Nath Brown hit it on the head. If they can just be tidier going inside and choose some better options, they look in general play like they may just have the edge.
Yeah, I think you're right. They've probably, in general play, played a little better of the footy, and that's due to the uncontested footy that they've been allowed by Richmond. So Richmond certainly have to take that away. At times, Richmond's pressure has been at a really high level. At other times, not at the level that we've known this year. So for me, and I've said it all in that first half, the team that is most efficient when they go inside 50, the team that has the most composure, and then most importantly, when you get your shots, you have to make sure you put them through the big sticks.
What's amazing in games like this and close games, how quickly sides can score after half-time. If one side doesn't come out now completely switched on, they can kick 2 and 3 goals, and this game can be over.
Well, this is where we're going to find out whether the extra week's rest really benefits Richmond. We saw last night. Well, it was hard to tell last night because Adelaide just jumped out of the blocks and dominated the game from start to finish, but see whether Richmond have a little bit of the fresher legs in the second half.
Well, it is those players that are able to get on the outside for GWS to do all the damage, and I think we got a real good snapshot, Duck, of why the North Melbourne Footy Club were prepared to offer Josh Kelly out 1.5 over 7 years.
Yeah.
He's an absolute gun, isn't he? He's running capacity. He doesn't make. He's quick. He's smooth. He's used to the footy. He's absolutely brilliant. He's hit the scoreboard. He's done absolutely everything in that first half. You're right. He's an absolute star, and very smart by his management to only sign him for 2 years, because I reckon he's only going to get better, and in 2 years there'll be a 7-year deal still there waiting for him. It'll probably be worth more than what he got offered this time.
The only thing not working for GWS right now is their forward line. Their defence, I think, is set up pretty well. Their midfield, their overlap is really good. But when you look at their forward end, they haven't had anyone really jump out of the ground and have a big game.
No, it's the delivery, though, isn't it? Inside 50. As you've said, they've bombed it. They've bombed it in there.
Snap balls, hurried balls, and they haven't. And it hasn't been from a pressure standpoint from Richmond.
No.
I think GWS has just panicked a little bit.
So we're going to have an hour and a bit to work out who's in the 2017 Toyota AFL Grand Final. The Tigers lead it by point, and BT, you're back with us. The thing you've got to say about the Tigers is when they've absolutely needed it, they've managed to find a way to kick a goal.
They've been able to find a way, but they're against a great, not a great side, but one of the top 4 sides in the competition today. And can they do it against GWS, who are pretty brilliant when they're on? And that's the question. What have they got here to find a way through this? Is the pressure going to override the skill department here in the last half? We're about to find out. But one thing for sure, I'm not so sure it is going to be blown open here. I think this one's going to be no more than 3 goals at the end.
1 point it is. 5-7 to 5-6. Tigers lead by that point. First 10 minutes of this term, just going to tell you everything. Umpire holds the ball aloft. For McDonald's Triple M rocks the prelim final. Here's BT to get you started.
Have a look at this bounce. He's the best in the business, Matty Nichols. Straight up and straight down. GWS with the initial possession, although they're coughing up now. Castagna got it to Martin, bursting through, swatting move, little right foot composed kick, missed Rioli, goes to Haynes, hard tackle by Rioli, forced it to spill. Martin went and got a right foot inside our ball goal. What an unbelievable goal!
Missed. Hit the post.
Hit the post.
What about the follow-up from Dusty?
Yeah.
Doesn't often miss the target with those touch kicks. Missed it, but just followed it up.
Matador Barbecue scoreboard available at Bunnings Warehouse. Search Matador Barbecues. Tigers by 2 points.
Williams to bring it in, and he does so nicely. Gets it to his shore.
Geez, Rioli's tackling's been awesome.
Back to Williams. And again, low and hard and nice to big General Patton. Handball to Tomlinson. This is the overlap, uncontested stuff we saw in that first half. Again, over the top, and Tomlinson follows up, gets it back from Lobb, has a bounce to half forward. Now he gets it to Himmelberg. High inside forward 50, he goes. Scully to the outside, it comes off his knee, I reckon. No. Yes, knee. It's going to be thrown in inside forward 50, punt road end.
Got a number behind the ball at the moment. Vlostone standing there behind the ball, so GWS have to be smart with the footy when they go forward, which they haven't been so far tonight.
Seabus super special comments, Nathan Brown on board there. Triple M football. Boundary throw in, attacking 50 here for GWS at the punt road end. Tackle applied and the ball stuck in. We'll have another ball up here. It's only 25 metres out from the GWS goal square. Grimes at the bottom of that pack.
We've got a little second half Stevie J cameo in his bristle.
Possibly, but it did look like he's out of tickets, and here he goes. He had a crack at it, and he gave away the free in the end, so Cochin's paid the advantage. Left foot kick, not to the advantage of his team, and Lobb has taken a defensive mark at half forward.
Yep. He'll go back in if he wants to. He's got Deledio sideways, had a look at that, ignored that, and then stuck it wide. Haynes, just outside 50, takes it. So early running in this second half going GWS's way. Haynes sits it up at the back. Patton, it gets through all sets of hands and is out of play to be thrown in very deep. Punt road end, it might have been Rance the Fister. So it is Richmond by 2 points. And I think we got a blood rule. Ashbury can hear the umpire, so we're going to have a little break in play.
Yeah, right eye, JB.
He makes his way off. The old Jack Dyer sort of claret flowing down the mush. And he'll get a little, well, Doc will tell us, probably a bit of hemorrhoid cream and a little staple maybe, Doc.
That's it, JB. Doc just lubricating the solution now.
Yes. All right, deep inside punt road forward 50. Giants heading in that direction, trailed by 2 points.
A little bit of trash talk in there by Stevie J to Trent Cotchin.
Boundary throw in, 10 metres around from the GWS goal square. Punt road end, Nankervis knocked it down. Hopper got a piece of it, intercepted. A lot of Tiger arms there. Lambert was in. Quick kick out of the pack by Greg to Castagna. He's caught in the tackle, flicked the ball out to Prestia. He's caught in the tackle, but he still flicked the ball out. Whitfield had it, left it, couldn't get it in the end. Players converge and another ball up. So this game at the moment not looking like it's going to break open just yet. 2-point advantage with the Tigers. 5-8 to GWS 5-6. Ball up, centre half forward for GWS. Nankervis knocks down. Scully got taken high, I thought. Umpire said nothing. He says the ball's pinned and will ball it up again.
Same spot as a few remonstrate with McIntosh. 50 out from the GWS punt road goal.
Got a bit of hillbilly about him, McIntosh.
Yes, that's it. Well, he's a Pinjarra boy. Bristol can tell us all about that.
That is hillbilly country.
As it's Stevie. Thought he might have been taken high, nothing. Went back and got it, so did Cochin. It's between the legs of Stevie. He's trying to get a hold of the footy call when he actually had the ball between his own legs.
Yeah, but he dragged it back in, JB. So, lucky there, Trent Cochin.
Another stoppage, same spot, centre half forward for the Giants punt road end. Waiting for this one to break open. Scully, high ball forward. Himmelberg, Rance, you back the ladder. It comes down to Green. Hands to it. Green just couldn't get to the ball with his boot. And it's a behind. We're back to 1 point, 37-38. Tigers up.
It's been poor tonight so far, Stevie Johnson.
Floston to kick the ball back in. So just to wonder, if they get home tonight, Brownie, do you play him next week in the grand final?
He's going to have to do something in the second half. I know he kicked 6 last week, but he's looked off the mark again tonight.
Okay, so he's playing for survival here in the second half of football. Let's see how he goes from here on in as we'll have another ball up. How many stoppages is this, Ash, in this second half?
Yeah, we've had 8 already, BT.
Okay, 1 point to the Tigers. Crowd getting a little restless. By the way, if you've just joined us, almost 95,000 here today. Briggs got the free at half back. Wanted to go, but couldn't pull the trigger. So he'll go back and he'll kick over the mark. Copper's on the mark. Kicks it down the northern wing towards the city end. Cochin elevates. He couldn't mark. Off hands. Kelly was waiting. Nankervis got it. Little quick kick out of the pack there by Core, went nowhere. Delidio with the spoil. Intelligent knockdown by Whitfield to Kelly. Kelly, nice handball there to Hopper. Hopper dragged out of bounds by Cochin. And Cochin got him in the tackle and got the free.
I thought a lot of that was when the ball was out of play. Doesn't matter. Cochin has it on the wing right in front of the dock and Nez. 1 point, tight as a drum at the G prelim final. Sits it down the line. Revolt. Like to see his numbers, Ash, please, as this one's held in.
Yeah, 5 possessions, yet to take a mark and scoreless, JB.
Got plenty in him, JB.
Yes, there's improvement there. 5-7, 5-8. Richmond by a point. Edgy your seat stuff. Nankervis lob. And a free kick is going to go the way of Graham. Starting to pick him out. Graham. Low and wide. Here is Revolt. It won't get to him. It goes off the face of Davis. Handball missed its target. That was McIntosh. Nice hard work from Castagna. Got it to Lambert. Lambert gets to Rioli, who's been brilliant. Rioli snaps. Great. First of the second half, Richmond. Rioli's got 3. 5-7 to 6-8 on the Triple M Matador Barbecue scoreboard.
You mentioned Trent Cochin before. He's had 17 disposals. Now, he's not as prolific this year with getting the footy. 12 of those are contested. He has just been, once again, Brownie, we spoke before the game, with his hardness. If he bought that today, they were going to be hard to beat. He has done that again as skipper of this team. And Rioli, well, 3 goals in, just over half a footy. That is sensational. And not just the 3 goals. His tackling, and you've mentioned it a couple of times, has been superb.
It's an equal PB for him too, 3 goals.
You can feel the crowd getting nervous.
Oh, yes.
Really nervous, because that's only a 7-point margin. It's nothing. Free kick advantage out of the middle for GWS as Ward bangs it towards Patton. Couldn't mark. Over the back is Himmelberg. He's confronted by Grimes. Himmelberg got hold of the footy. Tackled, threw it out the back door. Should have been a free. Umpire said no. And now out of bounds.
That free kick to GWS in the middle of the ground, that was just wrong. You're allowed to jump at the footy in the ruck, aren't you, and put your knee up?
I would have thought so.
I thought Himmelberg was holding the footy there. Anyway, ball in. Nankervis, Patton to the front. Rance gets a kick away. I'm not sure if there was any touch on it. Ball going back a little carefully. Tomlinson. Davis gets it off. Centering ball, Taranto. Players at the top of the square. Good defensive fist again from the Tigers through from behind. 6-8, 5-8. One straight kick separates these teams. Richmond lead it.
Tigers have strangely enough kicked 4 of the last 6 goals here. Short ball back in a play by Rioli. Found Grimes in the back pocket, who has selected the northern side. Still a brisk evening here. Started today. We had a 30-degree day and it's dropped right down to about 15 degrees. Bit of a southerly wind coming in here now. And it has affected the way the players have kicked for goal today. There's no doubt about it. Hurley from defensive 50 goes down towards the interchange side of the ground. High footy over the back, couldn't win it anyway. Butler was there, Scully went and got it. Handball to Whitfield, trying to spin out of the Nankervis tackle. He's caught. It was a great tackle by Nankervis. And he says, give me the footy. Right in front of the Richmond bench, which really charged them up as well.
Big Nanker.
Well, when you've got your big ruckman doing it as well, they're on in this second half, the Tigers.
Left foot, drop punt down the line. In front, that's nicely done. Rioli are holding free. Things are starting to roll for the Tigers here.
Rioli being held.
So you can hear exclusively to Triple M. It was a good pack mark from Lobb, but Rioli gets the free.
Marking the footy well, Lobb.
Yes, after some nervous first half moments. So Rioli's been brilliant, got 3. Team have only kicked 6. Sits a high one forward. Revolt, got through his hands, gets out the back. About 5 Richmond players missed the footy. Then it's a rush behind from GWS, 7-point lead Tigers. Triple M Matador Barbecue scoreboard.
It's nervy. It's very, very nervy. The Matador Barbecue scoreboard is not moving a lot. 7-point margin. Ash, give us someone that can improve on the Bosch Tools stat sheet.
Definitely Toby Green. 7 possessions, 1 mark yet to hit the scoreboard.
And the full forward at the other end in Jack Riewoldt.
He's only had 5 possessions and scoreless.
Both of those guys can give something, as Ash says on the Bosch Tools stats, Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Short ball here by Ward, goes to Core. Core immediately goes on the attack and goes out wide. Tomlinson's taken a mark. Done all right today, Tomlinson. Had Shaw on the inside, ignored that, went wide to Scully. Back to Tomlinson. Gee, likes to run a second time. Now the kick by Tomlinson goes very wide. Out of bounds on the full and half forward flank for GWS.
Flostone to bring it back in. Just things starting to fall the Tigers' way in this game of footy. They've got a 7-point lead. Flostone long, high and wide. Davis to kill it in the air. And out of play. Let's get down to you, Doc.
Yeah, Brett DeLilio just come off and just consulted with the doctor as we speak, taking off the left boot, and looks to have a little bit of that Achilles soreness troubling him at the moment.
Bob Jones, Team Marts, Tyrone Wheel Specialist, the best medical presence in football. Doc Rowan White on the boundary with Nez. Boundary throw in, outer side, wing. Straight down from Lobb to Martin, who walks through about 3 tackles. And then the releasing handball for Graham. Graham's got Caddy 4 to him. Slices through Caddy. Missed Grigg with the handball. Grigg didn't miss Lambert. Lambert ran a nice pattern and then coughed it up by hand. It's going to work to the back. Caddy's kicked a goal. In fact, it was Townsend. Brilliant. They've got a little smell about them here, the Tigers. 3 in a row. 7-9, 51, 5-8, 38. Triple M Matador Barbecue scoreboard.
They just kept pushing it forward then, Duck. It was just a tsunami. It was like a rugby league scrum. They just kept pushing it. No target then was hit. No target, but they kept following up and eventually landed in the lap of Townsend. But Dustin Martin again started that on centre wing. Can't tackle him. They cannot tackle him.
Yeah, it just breaks tackles, and that's where the game opens up. You've got players in and around the footy. If he breaks those, that's when they get out, because it's like B to a honeypot. Then all of a sudden Richmond have got players on the outside.
Clearances this quarter, 7-2 Richmond's way. Kelly, only 1 possession in this term.
13-point lead here now with the Tigers. The volume starting to go up at the MCG in front of 94. Scully out of the middle with the clearance for GWS in the green direction. Green an opportunity here, got it, grabbed it, went away from Grimes, had a shot at goal. You wanted something from Green. And he misses. So a 2-goal ball game here now, 2 straight goals in it. We've played half of this third quarter. Richmond lead.
I reckon, Bristol, if there's a Tigers beliefometer, it is growing by the second. As Flostone to himself and then long down the line. Lobb parked in front, hands to it, couldn't take it at the ground level. Cornelio wrapped up in a brilliant tackle, should have been holding the ball. Players out for Richmond, but the spin around kick not great. And it goes out of play down to Younes.
Brett Delidio's got the left boot off. He's getting some treatment at the moment. He did reveal in his press conference ahead of game 250 that he suffered some Achilles soreness in the build-up to that Crows loss, so I suspect it's the same thing again.
He's short to Josh Kelly, who goes on one of his slicing runs, and then inside 50, high in the air. At the back, they've got numbers everywhere. Brilliant Rance. Broke it up in the air. Then Witten found the footy. Scully got a handle on it. He's taken out of play. Do they keep it in? It's come out of bounds, and again, the best defender in footy got the job done.
He did, Rance. And he's looked good, 7-9 to 5-9. You reckon if Richmond could get the next one, could just butter them up a bit. The fans are rising out of their seats. It's half forward here for GWS. Nankervis went and got it. Whitfield was sandwiched between two Richmond tacklers. One of those Nankervis, the other Cochin.
Tell you where Richmond's impressed in this third quarter, Duck. Their tackle pressure has gone up to a level that it was against Geelong. First half it wasn't there. It was still okay, the tackle pressure, but nowhere near that Geelong final. This third term, they've stepped it up.
Richmond by 2 goals. Handball Lambert comes to Hooley. Hooley now to Foston, through centre half back, long, highly weighted kick out in the direction of McIntosh. Wilson's got to do it alone here. There are 2 Tigers, a beautiful tap back by Wilson, but he couldn't find a footy. That man on the ground, Tomlinson, picked up by the Tigers. Butler goes forward, poor kick, and it's been picked off by Heath Shaw, and he's told to play on from half back.
He's got not much to go to. He's got to manufacture something here. It was very good too. So they get a little respite as it's Williams out of side.
Tomlinson's been very shaky in this third term.
A couple of real horrible fumbles there as Williams long down the line. This will suit Richmond. They got numbers everywhere, although the ball was good. To Toby Green, who had his head ripped off, but was all legal because he crunched. And that is illegal contact on Scully, who I reckon Ash has been pretty good.
17 disposals, 80% by foot.
He goes high inside forward 50. Patton's got about 5 to beat in the air. Out the back, Ward should kick a goal. I reckon he has.
Over the line.
Over the line, Duck, you think?
Oh, I agree. Over the line. Ward thinks
I believe
it's a goal.
Can we please make sure he kicked it before it was fully across the line?
Ward was confident.
I reckon that's a goal. That ball's not over the line.
It's whether his foot has hit it there.
Yeah.
Can't.
Yep, it has. I think you'll find that's a goal. The whole ball needed to be over the line for it to be a point.
Hard to reverse that, isn't it?
Yeah.
The umpire called it a goal.
He did. And I reckon
that is 3, if you don't mind, for Callum Ward if it goes through, and I think it's there. Whole ball's got to be over, Duck, before he kicks it for it to be a point.
I think you're right.
I think that's a goal.
Yep.
They needed it badly. 6-9-45 to 7-9-51. Another twist in this game. Matador Barbecue scoreboard.
You said, Jim, that Tom Scully been really good. He has been. I'll tell you what, you don't expect Tom Scully and Lockie Whitfield to be the toughest players out there, but every time I've seen them play this year, they've always put their head over the ball. When the crunches come, they've been very good. There's a few players out there who have taken a couple of short steps tonight, but Tom Scully and Lockie Whitfield have shown the way for GWS.
Jalidio back on here now. Some Richmond supporters on the Chemist Warehouse screen here, hiding their faces as the margin closes to a goal. 16 minutes, third quarter. You just know this one, there's not going to be much in it come the last 10 minutes of the game. Back to the middle we go. Nankervis favoured by the bounce. Beautiful knockdown of Cochin. It was a little ordinary with the kick forward to Martin. Now Rioli's got an opportunity near the boundary line, and he keeps it in by flicking it back towards Martin. He reappears on the scene, knocks it back into Greg. He gives it another chance. Well done, Rioli. The big kick goes deep inside 50. Tigers 3-on-1. Castagna claiming the mark. Not there. And a ball up 20 metres out from the Tigers. City end goal. They lead it by 1 goal, Richmond.
How good Daniel Rioli. He is putting on a display, a clinic. Small forward in a final. Thrown up. Revolt Patton. Tigers players everywhere. Ward was pretty good, but his hooking kick only as far as Grimes, who's 45 from home.
Only kicked 1 goal for the year, JB.
Doesn't get many shots.
So Dylan Grimes, this is, I tell you what, this has got one of those classic prelim finals written all over it.
They reckon when they have goal kicking practice and training, he's a very, very good one at training, Brian.
Come on.
I'm going to back him in.
Oh, he's got to go dead centre here.
He's played a great role on Toby Green so far tonight as well.
Dylan Grimes, set shot, 45 from home. He'll kick from about 50. City end, right half forward. Imagine if this flies through the sound. No. Oh, no. It was hung horribly out to the right, little
Bad info. Behind.
So it's 7-point lead, Richmond.
That was the boot stud of the game.
Yeah, Giuseppe Mamone.
Giuseppe.
Learning stuff out of the club, secret stuff like that. Another Nath to kick it in. Nath Wilson. Short little kick, finds Davis. Davis Mark able to go here as Martin gives him time and latitude. Goes out wide towards Patton. Nice spoil out there by the big fella Nankervis, who's doing a sterling job at the 18-minute mark of the third quarter. 94,000, almost sitting hushed at the moment. Can't believe there's only 7 points in it with 10 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
Completely nuts. All of this down to the ground. Hopper went without it, and then he went and got Cochin. Shoveled a handball Nankervis's way, broken out of his hands by Tomlinson. And 60 from home, it'll be thrown in. Tigers in attack. City end, right of your radio dial. Just what the doctor ordered. Saturday twilight prelim final. Throw in. Tomlinson again with a look. Graham went without it. Caddy went without it. Green went and got it, and then just an end-on-ender down the line looking for De Boer. Couldn't find him. And it's going to be a deliberate. Oh, no. That's big. Players were there as it went over the line, but it was...
Matty De Boer touched it.
It was a deliberate out-of-bounds call. And Broad will bring it back in and just hoist it high and long. They're the moments that can really matter in these games. Nankervis got it through. Core broke it up with a little hand. Still contested inside Richmond's forward 50. It's Rioli. Can he kick his fourth? Yes, please. Rioli's got 4 and is blowing this game to the Scheisenhausen. 8-10, 58, 6-9, 45. Matador Barbecue scoreboard.
Well, they got their last goal, Duck, through just pushing the ball forward. They did it again, just a tidal wave of runners pushing the ball forward. Wasn't an effective disposal of the bunch of it until it found out to Rioli, who snapped it across his body. It's just weight and numbers from the Tigers running.
Yeah, you're right, Brownie. They've done that on a couple of occasions, haven't they? And that's what makes defences nervous, when you just keep the ball flowing. You don't want the ball to stop. You've got to keep it knocking it out. That's 4 goals in a prelim final. That's a PB for him.
And a career high, so PB. Well done from him. Charlie Cameron last night. Now we're seeing Daniel Rioli go to work and excite the yellow and black fans. 13-point margin. Clearance goes with GWS, but the kick is cut off by Brandon Ellis. One of the best preparers the Tigers have on their list. Kick out wide, finds Hooley. Hooley wanted to continue on the southern side with the left foot and said he goes with the left hand to Caddy. Caddy sold it back inside, but ended up kicking a long ball down the line there. Haynes did well to punch it to the boundary line. And it's at half forward for the Tigers. We'll have a boundary throw in. It's 6-9-45 GWS. Richmond 8-10-58. Matador Barbecue. Available at Bunnings Warehouse. Search Matador's Barbecues.
Geez, you've got to think that's a very tough, deliberate call before on the West Sydney Giants. Anyway, thrown in ball. Richmond now starting to just build in this game. It's a disputed ball out of side. It goes through a couple of sets of hands. It's about half forward for the Tigers and no one can extricate it out of there, so we'll have a ball up.
What Richmond have done really well as tackling, is being able to stop GWS's run in this third term. They haven't had that run, that overlap that they had the first half.
Uncontested footy in this term, Ash, as Ward gets it out of there. It's going to land with Taranto. Slapped out of his hands. Go, Ash.
GWS by only +2.
As there is Taranto, taken hard to ground. It goes through Edwards' hands. He gets a little handball out of there. Still no one able to be clean wearing a GWS jumper. Toby Green had another look at it. It's all happening on the logo. They spit it out now to Kelly. Kelly sits it up. That's nice. Inside 50 to Stevie.
This is the one you have to kick.
First look at it really for the day for Stevie J. Numbers please, Ash.
Stevie J for Boschels, 9 possessions and scoreless.
Wanted to give it off there, Stevie. Not confident at all. He is.
He does give it off. He gave it to a man who had to run sideways in Nathan Wilson, who kicks it out in the full. That's not good, Stephen.
What's he doing, Duck?
Boy, he's playing himself out of an opportunity next week if they happen to win.
45 metres out from goal, you go back and kick it.
Well, I think with Stevie J, he's become so accustomed to kicking those ones around the corner, BT. When he gets one directly in front, he's not confident
Doesn't
anymore.
Want it. And that was 45 metres out directly in front. 13-point lead here with the Tigers at the moment. GWS just showing a little here. It's just come to a bit of a grinding halt. But 3 goals to 1 in the quarter.
That's poor, Duck.
Yeah, well, and that's why I always say that if you've got a kick where you can kick a drop punt, that's why you do it. Because in big games, you're going to get opportunities like that. You haven't done it in big moments in front of big crowds.
Tigers by 13 points with 7.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter here. GWS got some numbers around this topic. Scully with a little quick to Johnson again. Traps it, he's taken forward in the tackle. Should get the free, Stevie J, and he does. Well, trouble is, he's on 50 and he won't get the distance, Brownie.
He would have got the distance before, not going to get the distance from here. He needs to find a target.
Asprey took him forward in the tackle. So what does Stevie J do here? Man on the mark's at 49 metres. Stevie J says, I'm going to kick it to the top of the square, and it come off the instep of the boot. It had a lot of payakaroon about it. And there's 50 against GWS as well. This will bring Grigg past the middle of the ground. Think it was against Cornelio. So Grigg now in the middle of the ground. So GWS had it locked in. Martin's offering a long lead. He ignores that Grigg and he chisels a low ball. Here comes Martin in low, trying to trap on the half volley. Shaw might have got it in his back, no free. Wilson got the handball off Cornelio. Hopper and GWS away.
Had a couple out. Stevie's got to win a hard ball. He actually does well and draws a free. Play on taken. Taranto's got it. Inside 50 he goes. Patton in good shape on Flostone. Unable to take the mark. And then wheeled around and complained to the ump. Just get the job done, Big General. Flostone arches his back. Gives it to Cochin. And Cochin, a settling kick out wide. Might be Asprey with the bandages on his head. So, well, talk about that being poor from Stevie Duck. The most poor bit, if you like, is he refused to take responsibility. Yeah, and that's what he's gone to the club for. Yeah, to give it off to someone else is just not what you want in a big final. Tomlinson sees it out of side, and it's going to be thrown in.
That's the reason why you roll the dice and play underdone in a big final, because he comes to a moment where you know Stevie Johnson's going to give you what he can, but he didn't do it.
Stevie J, only a week or two away from being appointed as an assistant coach at Sydney. Here today, not showing his best stuff. Gee, that's another poor throw in by the boundary umpire there. Comes to Scully. Ooh. Scully's handball missed. Williams allowed Edwards in. G's had some cutting runs today. The overlap handball comes from McIntosh. The boy out of Penny hammers a low ball and misses left. 59 plays 45. Matador Barbecue scoreboard. Tigers lead.
Josh Kelly, 17 disposals in the first half, only 3 in this third quarter.
Haynes to bring it away out of side, high and long and wide. Lob, Nankervis did well, got it to the front. Forward handball, Cornelio, hard ball to win. Smashed into by Asprey. Just a bit harder, I reckon, at the moment, the Tigers. Ball on the ground, and they might get a free here, GWS. They must respond. Tomlinson out of side. For McDonald's, by the way, the Monopoly game at Macca's is back. Come in and play today as they retreat all the way back inside defensive 50 to the heater, who's directing a bit of traffic. He's sure, then he has a bounce. Wants to distribute wide. It's got to work to Aiden Core. It's got to bounce up now for Aiden Core. It does, but he's got nowhere to go. Got to bite off a 45-degree ball. Through a couple of sets of hands. They could kick a goal from here, Richmond. Prestia. Lambert. Lambert sees out of the corner of his eye. Revolt goes square in that direction. Not sure it was the right option. Revolt outside 50. Centering ball. That is the right option. And Lambert's got it. This is about to bust open. Lambert wants to give off to Edwards. GWS just refusing to cover the territory and man up inside forward 50. Edwards about 35 out.
Had to be better than Aiden Court. Had a lot of time and not a lot of options. He needed to do better. He just wanted to get the ball out of his hands and into somebody else's. He made the wrong decision.
This for 5 of the last 6 and busted out to a game high, Ash.
Spot on, JB.
60, what would that make it? You get the margin
21 points.
21 points. That's huge in the context of this game. Edwards, city end, set shot is there. They can taste it, Richmond. First time since 1982, and the 95 in the house can taste it. 9-11, 6-9, Triple M Matador Barbecue scoreboard.
Well, they're only little things, but you look at Townsend there. Now, clearly, he looked out on his feet a little bit there, Brownie. What he did is he just corralled. Didn't realise, you know what, don't want to be stepped around. Put enough pressure on that kick had to be hard. Went for it up the corridor. They get the turnover, Richmond. They're just little things, but Townsend put enough pressure on.
Let's get downstairs for Bob Jane T. Martinez.
And boys, as this crowd just gets louder and louder and louder, just remembering that Dylan Shield was ruled out at quarter time, and it means that the GWS at the moment have had 7 less rotations than the Tigers, and they're starting to look a little flat.
And a 4-goal to 1 quarter to go with it here in this third quarter in favour of the Tigers. They led it by a game-high 20 points. Back in the middle we go again for the stoppage in there. The win for the Tigers as well. Townsend the brush off. The kick inside 50. Looking for Castagna. Wilson's there. Haynes on the other side. They close him out. Haynes able to collect the ball, but he bangs it onto the boot very quickly and very highly. Makes it tough for Ward. Off hands are coming back to the Tigers. A little ball back inside here. Was smothered by GWS. Went and got it out another go. Grigg with a left foot at top of the square. High ball. Up they go. Martin has been paid to mark. It's a difficult angle for Martin. Only 10 metres out, but it's a very acute angle.
Shelling piece for him.
Yeah.
Run around, kicking around the corner, you reckon?
Yeah, easy for him.
So he's about 3 metres inside the boundary line. He shapes to the middle of the ground, which signifies the kick around the corner.
Going to take all of the time up to BT.
He collects his breath. And this to put him 26 up. Look at him get out of there. CT at the G. The Tiger Army, who were paralysed earlier, are now up and about. Richmond by 26 points.
Another error in the middle of the ground, Duck. They had the ball in their hands, GWS, and just panicked like they have all night. Even when they were playing good footy in the first half, they panicked with the football. They wanted to overpossess it. Then they wanted to get out of their hands again in the middle. Can't remember who it was on that occasion, but an errant handball straight to Richmond. And from that moment on, they didn't get the footy back.
They've had the 2 weeks off, Richmond. They are as fresh as a daisy, and the other mob are down a rotation, have played another week of footy.
Do you try and calm things down and put a loose back now, or do you keep trying to score if it's Tigers?
Well, 3 minutes to go. You have a bit more composure, BT, but I don't think you just stop, because you don't want to get a goal scored against you before 3/4 time either. And 3.5 minutes in today's footy is a long time.
45-71. 26-point lead for the Tigers. That's game high, as you heard from Ash Stewart. They are looking emphatic here, Richmond. Well done. Slicing out of there, Williams has a bounce. Nothing to go to. Great tackle there from Rioli. Inside 50, there we are. Himmelberg has got it at the same spot Stevie didn't want to take the shot from earlier. Now, this man who's got 2 in the first term can go back, kick a set shot and give his team a look. 3 goals, so much better than 4 at 3/4 time.
Kicked the ball beautifully in the first term.
So the young man Himmelberg, set shot, punt road end, 45 from home. Pooley stands the mark, the kick is going to miss. Almost a lot, just a behind. 6-10-46, 10-11-71. And we've not got long to go third term.
Nick Maxwell out there coaching again, staying in a spot, not delivering any message, but just telling all players where they should be.
Well, he's like standing in a zone right now.
Yep.
He's not allowed to stand there, surely.
Oh, he's standing there and he's doing nothing. And we've got 2 minutes left here on the third quarter. Been a thumper for the Tigers and a bad miss there for GWS. Through the middle of the ground they go. Davis was hard at it. Richmond just a little bit harder at it. Kelly went and got it, showed the ball. Caught in the tackle. Gee, who was that?
The captain.
Spills loose to Prestia. They pay the advantage. His kick to Caddy. He marks. 52 out. High ball. Martin's one out. 20 metres from goal square. Couldn't get it knocked down.
Oh, no.
Tomlinson soccer off the ground. Missed it. He's missed it, Castagna. He had a fresh airy in the goal square, 2 metres out directly in front. And the ball hits the behind post, and we're going to throw in.
Tell you what, Dustin Martin's down.
Tomlinson had no idea the urgency required there. As Dusty's slow to get up. Real slow. And he doesn't stay down, Duck, as a rule.
No.
He's sure saying, why are we holding up the game for a guy that's trying to get to his feet? It's a good point.
Well, he's up now. I tell you what, they kick another one here. It is very, very hard to see GWS coming back. Boundary thrown inside forward 50, lob to the front. Scully a piece of it. Dumped it high, and then Curvis to go back. Rant's been fantastic. Contested mark, centre half forward, too far out to score, but he'll soak up all the seconds. And then punch it long and high. Revolt at the back, Davis at the front. Free kick on a push. Not been a great night for Jack, won't matter if they win.
No. It's been an ordinary 1 minute and a half to go in the third quarter, but just shows you if everyone else is doing their job.
They don't rely on Jack anymore.
Yep.
Simple as that. Today's evidence of that.
It'd be nice for him to do something. Ball marked by Ward in the defensive 50 here.
They are flat as a biscuit, GWS.
They are indeed. Little kick there looking for Scully. Intercepted by Taranto, the boy out of St Kevin's. Taranto's little kick to centre wing, a little dangerous here, lets the Tigers in again. Nankervis is there, accidental knockout win to Green, de Boer to Cornelio, over the hybrid logo, Cornelio to Deledio to the northern wing, finds an unmanned Haynes. Haynes got time and space, and from 70 out, goes long to the goal square. Rance gets back to take an uncontested mark in the last line of defence.
Talk about that belief for metre, Nath. I reckon it's going out of GWS by the second.
Yeah, it certainly is. Everything the Richmond touch turned to go at the moment.
The body language is just not good. Handball forward. Tomlinson's got to be real careful. Handball it into traffic. Turnover, Castagna. Caddy with only the goal face ahead. Runs to 50. Slots a low one. Dusty top of the square. Draws a free. This is almost your game. He's sure a hold. Dusty from about 5 out directly in front.
Tomlinson's had a shaky quarter this quarter. Again, that handball there just wasn't good enough.
Yep. Good piece of Dusty's jumper too, so it was there.
He did have the jumper, and that's what he creates. Defenders panic when they get one-on-one with Dusty Martin because they know he's so good in that area.
31 points if this goes through is a huge margin in a low-scoring game.
15 seconds left in the quarter.
This'll do you. Listen to this. They're home, I reckon. It's an early call, but it's massive now. 31 points. And we've got bugger all time left in this third term. The promised land awaits for the Tigers.
31-point lead for the Tigers. You got anything to make the Tiger fans happy, Ash?
Yeah, well, BT, no team has ever won when they've been trailing by 31 points at three-quarter time in a prelim. The record is 28.
So they're 31 right now. And the Tigers have been known to butcher a game or two, though, in recent history, Ash. Yep. I know they haven't been finals, and they seem to have cleared that hurdle in recent times. Yep. And the last 4 in a row. And the 94,000 here today just gone ballistic as a result of Martin's second goal in a row. Got a clearance to go with it, although it was smothered. Goes back in GWS favour. Little handball to Cochin. Cochin around the corner to the northern wing. Under pressure is Whitfield. Listen to this. The Tiger fans roar at three-quarter time. They think they've got it in the bag. They're up by a massive 31 points. And the Tiger fans are up out of their seats, applauding, and can't wait for the end of this one. Down to you, Nez.
Lockie Whitfield is just pointing out that he needs his jaw assessed by the doctors. The doctor just going to him now. He's not happy. I'm not sure where it was from, whether it was that big tackle or a different incident. But he looks like he will be right for the rest of the game, though, joining the boys now.
11-11-77, the Tigers. The Giants, 6-10-46 on the Matador Barbecue scoreboard for McDonald's. Triple M rocks finals footy. Three-quarter time at the MCG. Richmond lead 11-11-77 to GWS 6-10-46. 31-point lead. Boss Tool stats, quick, Ash.
Daniel Rioli, 10 disposals, 4 goals, PB for him.
Nathan Brown, your thoughts?
I just thought their pressure went up to an elite level again in the second and third quarter, Richmond, and GWS couldn't handle it.
Bob Jane T. March, best tyre price guaranteed. Nez and Dr. Rowan White.
Brett Deledio really struggling with that left Achilles, limping to the bench to start this one on the bench, Doc.
It's not looking good, Nez. Not looking good at all for Brett.
Really? So, Doc, you think that he's in trouble as well for next week?
Definitely, Brian. I think looking at him just hobbling off to the sideline, then he is in a lot of trouble with that problem that's been around for a couple of weeks now.
Probably won't be in next week when you think about it for either Shield or Deledio, unless they can rip something out of this early.
Yeah, the Tigers in that quarter, Trent Cochin, he has been unbelievable. 21 disposals, 15 of those contested, 8 tackles, led from the front, the skipper.
That's the voice of Wayne Carey, Seabus Super Special Comments, award-winning super for the building and construction industry. We're about to start the last quarter. Richmond haven't been to the big dance since 1982.
They're 31 points up. What can GWS do to at least, you sense, make them earn it? Cornelio went and got it. Ridden into the ground. Tigers everywhere. Prestia. End on end ball forward. Townsend. And also Aiden Core. Townsend won a good hard ball. Got a little kick away. Grigg takes it over. 50 from home. In fact, the footy might have stayed in. I think it has. And it came back to Cornelio, who has it inside defensive 50. Got to strike quickly, GWS. They've only kicked consecutive goals twice in the match, and their last goal, tell me, Ash, when it was?
Yeah, Bosch Tool stats, JB. 15-minute mark into the third quarter.
So a long time ago, good contested mark taken by Cochin out of side. Inside 50 with a high one. Haynes, Rioli's been superb. To the back, Edwards. Got it to Revolt, who's been quiet. Heath Shaw managed to find a way through. Again a fumble. Edwards, Butler a little one forward. Grigg, Andor, Martin. Dusty arches the back. She's all over. Got three. Richmond are marching into a granny. The hair standing up on the back of a bloody neck. It's electric.
3 in a row for Martin.
12-11-83, 6-10-46. Triple M Red Z lending scoreboard.
Well, the game was evenly poised, Brian, before he kicked those 3 goals in a row. Hadn't had a great night before that, Dusty. Made a few good decisions and been very hard to tackle, but 3 goals in a row has been unbelievable.
How good is he? We talk about Paddy Dangerfield when he goes forward. They do it in a different manner, but just the cleverness there. He had a couple of options, but just stepped around brilliant.
Bob Jane, T. Martinez.
A fan has just been abusing Jonathan Patton. Patton has just turned around right in front of me, pointed at him and said, "You're on that side of the fence, you loser." So they're really getting upset right now, the Giants.
Martin has got the last 3 goals here, and as you say, Nate, before he kicked those, they were about 20 points, 18 points down, GWS. They're now down by 37 points. Free kick in the middle of the ground as Williams has got a bit of a shoulder problem as well. Handball comes to Nathan Wilson. Been very little run off half back with him. His kick inside 50 is hopeful more than anything. Couldn't control it. Green, little handball out there. Prestia over it, knocks it out of the defensive 50. Callum Ward just charged in, won the footy. Got it out very, very wide. Stevie J ran into Floston, got the handball to Haynes. Left footer by Haynes. Gets it deep inside 50. Almost a mark taken by GWS. Umpire calls play on us. Ellis is tackled to the ground, and we'll have a ball up at GWS's city end of the ground.
It's going to be a 28-minute celebration for the Tigers unless GWS can find a miracle from somewhere. Cacked out of that's Grimes' boot, and it's going to end up with Cornelio a shot on goal. But this, if he gets it, is just going to drag him back to the three-quarter time margin of 31 points. It's a tough shot. He'll have to run around in the right foot banana. Stephen Cornelio. City end. Left forward pocket. The snap is across the face. In fact, it's not going to register a score at all, and it goes out of play to be thrown in.
There was a huge moment in this game, Duck, when the game was 2 goals of difference and Stevie Johnson gave the ball off and then had another kick where he centred it straight back to Richmond. Huge things, and that turned the momentum of this game into Richmond's favour.
Red Z lending scoreboard, 37-point margin here now. Nankervis with a little knockdown. Rance looking for the free, didn't get it. Stevie Johnson around the corner. Right foot snap across the face. Grimes juggling mark, but doesn't complete it before the behind line, so a minor score will be awarded. 47 to GWS, 83 to the Tigers. Looks like they're going to advance for the first time since 82.
6-goal lead. We're into the final term. And the biggest issue, yes, Bristol?
Will their captain be there with them, JB?
That will be the huge talking point. And the ball gets to the back. Handball forward by Heath Shaw, looking for Jacob Hopper, can't find him.
Duck thinks he will be, but he's a bit of a player's man, Duck.
No, 100% will be there, BT. No doubt. Eyes on the footy, attacked the footy hard, protected himself.
Tackles in the forward half tonight. GWS 17, Richmond 33.
You do have to commit a particularly heinous crime to miss a grand final via the tribunal. We know that. Cornelio went without it. Flostone just a thumping handball down the line. Josh Kelly, who was brilliant in the first term but has gone out of the game since, tracks it, as does the straight backer Phil Davis. Great tackle, Cochin, footy out of play.
He charges to the bench, and look at the Richmond fans. a standing ovation. It's not quite time for the standing O's just yet, I would have thought.
Just appreciate the effort of their skipper there.
Yep. Boundary throw in right in front of the MCC members. Nam Curvis done a sterling job all day for the Tigers. He knocks it forward. Green went and got it, but he was immediately under pressure by Graham. And over the line out of bounds. Now, you mentioned Graham averages 8 or 9 tackles a game. How many has he had today?
Yeah, Bosch saw stats, 4 tackles, all of those in the forward half of the ground.
Richmond 12-11-83, GWS 6-11-47. Boundary throw in centre wing, northern side of the ground. Man Curvis and Lobb go at it. Neither made real contact with the footy. Ball knocked down there. Funneled it out. Hopper hurt himself when he went to ground. Comes to Scully. Scully handball backwards. Found space and time for Tomlinson. He gives it to Kelly. Bit of a goose step there from Kelly. Left foot around the body. Cornelio did well to keep it in front. Great handball to Ward. Got it off to Taranto. Taranto goes long and deep. Stevie J caught behind. Gave Rance a bit of a push. And he still marked at Rance in the back pocket.
Been brilliant, Alex Rance. Has been brilliant. No other word to describe him. High and long he goes. Tomlinson has a good look at it in the air and takes the mark. How long we got, Ash? Real time, please.
16:30 on the clock, JB.
36 points adrift, GWS. Tomlinson goes sideways and it works to Whitfield. High inside forward 50 he goes. Himmelberg in from the side of Rance. Ball on the ground. McIntosh gave it off to Broad. Broad's kick going to go straight to the hands of Toby Green. Stepped out of a couple of tackles, Toby. Eventually got taken. Got it to a teammate in De Boer. His handball looking for Himmelberg. Crashing a couple of bodies. Green went without it again. Nest of players. Ellis went and found it. He's around the body ball. He's going to land with Tomlinson just outside 50. And he can reload, but he's kicking into an absolute nest of Richmond jumpers. To a pretty limp forward half for GWS. Tomlinson high. Lob at the back. Hands to it. Couldn't take it. Scully went through and the point is kicked by Patton. So it's 35 points. We're going to have a week in Melbourne dominated by the Tigers. We're going to have a week in Adelaide dominated by the Crows. It is the perfect grand final coming up.
So the kick back into play here from fullback from Floston. High footy there. Looking for Call. Couldn't get him knocked to the boundary line. De Boer kept it alive. Gave it to Kelly. He was falling away when he got boot to ball and Scully took a nice mark 45 metres out on a really tough angle for Tom Scully. Favouring his left boot. 7 3/4 minutes gone in the last quarter. 12-11-83 the Tigers. GWS 6-12-48. If you've just joined us, around about 95,000 in the house here today. Scully from 50 metres out to the near side. Won't bend back. Hits the post. Minor score. 49 plays 83 Richmond's way.
It's been one of their best tonight though, Scully. Hasn't stopped trying, hasn't stopped running.
So Flostone to bring it back in. And I think emphatically, Duck, we can say that the bye and then the extra week have helped the two teams that won round one. Richmond and Adelaide.
There'll be no more talk about that, will there?
That's done, that talk. These two teams, Adelaide and Richmond, look as fresh as you've seen. Riewoldt tried to come through with the foot, he was unable to do so. Davis won a hard ball ground level to De Boer, to Taranto. High Torpy inside forward 50. Himmelberg parked under it. Defensive fist finds Caddy. Caddy against the line, releasing handball. Asprey just long, but straight to his shore. And I think a free kick's going to go Delidio's way. Really doesn't matter.
Yeah, will. Delidio right of the Melbourne logo on centre wing on the northern side. And a little bit of a boo there for the former 250 gamer. He would have been playing his 250th game in the grand final next week had he made it, trying to emulate like Luke Hodge did. Little opportunity here. Trying to get through was Graham. Eventually got rid of it, given plenty of time to do that. Townsend now high balls it, but going to come back because getting on the end of it was Delidio again, the former Tiger. Short little kick out wide to Cornelio. Alice mans him up and forced him to kick over the mark right in front of the GWS interchange bench. 6-13-49 GWS. Richmond 12-11-83 on the Red Z lending scoreboard.
Delidio getting some stats there. He gives the handball off to Williams and Williams into the centre. To Davis. Davis back to Williams, who's run on, sticks it down the throat of Himmelberg, who has been GWS's best forward. And he'll go back, take a set shot from about 35 out directly in front. Tigers fans the world over saying, find me a ticket.
If only they had that composure in the first half, GWS, when they were dominating.
Yeah.
By the way, Delidio's 250th today. Sorry to mislead you.
Harrison Himmelberg, set shot for his third. And the kick looks pretty good. He's got three, as I say, been by far their best forward. 7-13-55, 12-11-83, Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard.
Well, you're spot on, Duck. In the first half, that's all they wanted. Some nice supply inside their forward 50 without butchering the footy, without rushing the footy. At the end of the day, this final has been won by the side that had more composure and held the footy in their hands and didn't overreact, didn't have to go too quickly. Richmond have used the ball better than what GWS had. I reckon GWS had the better looks of the two sides for 2.5 quarters, but since then, there's just been all Tigers.
Just getting some data on Tom Scully. He's run 2.5 kilometres more than any other player on the ground tonight. Very close to the 16-kilometre mark, which is at the high end of what players do in a game of footy these days. Back in the middle we go. Payton knocked down here. Couldn't clear it, the Tigers. Oh, yes, they can. Castagna got on the end of it in the end. Didn't take a lot of time and didn't deliver it with precision and went high, and Nathan Wilson marks the ball at half-back for GWS. Crowd are going to stay and enjoy this. You reckon the reason we got so many Tiger fans here today, JB, is they probably knew they wouldn't get a grand final ticket next week, I reckon.
Patton should have outmarked Ellis, couldn't. Now a free kick going Richmond's way into the ground. He's spot on. It's going to be a yellow and black celebration. Hooley, centre circles. Long inside 50. In the air, unable to take it. Was Wilson. Here's Dusty, kick number 4, young man. The don't argue, the left foot snap, he didn't get any of it. Back with the flight, Rioli, Butler, can't get boot to ball, and probably should be holding the ball. Still it's a scramble inside the square, and the umpire's going to come up and throw it up.
I thought about doing the Wells, but didn't quite have the same
athleticism.
Yeah.
55-83 ball ups basically in the Richmond attacking goal square here. Umpire Sean Ryan, him himself has made a great comeback to umpiring after a couple of years off. Looks like he'll get the big job next weekend. De Boer couldn't mark off hands. Ellis tries to fend off Reed. Little one here. Comes Martin to Castagna round the corner. Probably could have fed it out wide.
And the radar off today, Georgie.
Kicks it out of bounds on the full. Is he under threat to hold his position, Castagna, or not?
I wouldn't have thought so. He's had enough shots and he's put good pressure on. Whatever his pressure acts, Two-Man.
It might be far-fetched, only 28 points of difference, but every time GWS get the ball now, just try and hammer it through the middle, create something. Yep. If you turn it over and you get a goal back the other way, you're probably not going to win this game anyway, but you've got to give it a shot.
No percentage in finals, as we know, and it just doesn't matter. You might as well roll every single dice. Here we go, Taranto. Handball looking for Whitfield. He was hit very hard by Ellis and sat right on his freckle. Turnover, Hopper over the top. Grimes comes through nicely to Lambert, to McIntosh, walks out of a tackle, releasing handball Hooley around the body, ball's going to bounce on the wing, coming up at it, Cochin. He's got Aidan Core with him, goes with the handball back to Graham. Graham high inside forward 50, Davis in good shape, good mark taken by Haynes.
Yeah, good player Haynes at half back, and he takes a relieving mark. Needs to go, as the boys have mentioned. That's a horrible kick. Spills it. Rioli marks. Gives the handball off. They're away here, the Tigers. Little handball, Lambert back inside here. Caddy gone in the Kelly tackle. Kelly, a lunging goal-saving tackle for GWS. Forces the behind there. The Chemist Warehouse replay screen showing the knock on Whitfield from Brandon Ellis. Duck and Brownie, I'm not sure what you think. Has he got anything to worry about, Brandon Ellis? Whitfield's up and playing, by the way.
Once again, you're going for the footy. You're going for the footy and you're turning your body side on. You're entitled to do that, BT.
Not allowed to hit him in the head, though.
Zach Williams, I'm totally with you, Nath. They've just got to wheel and go. Take every single risk. Handball found Whitfield inside 50 to the big general. All right, go back and kick it and at least tighten the Richmond Nuss piece up a touch.
The Nuss piece, Jim.
So, BT, when you're going for the footy, what you sort of say to yourself, I'm not jumping, I'm not trying to bump, I've got my eyes on the footy's there.
I know, but you're dealing with a judiciary that's funny.
You ponder that as the big general. If he sticks this through, what does it mean? Set shot is good, I reckon. That's 2 in a row. Now then, 61-84 is the scoreboard, and we still have 9.5 left in this final term.
As we said, Jim, just try and play on it every opportunity now. Get it into the middle of the ground. Try and get Richmond off the bit. What I will say, Duck, I agree with Damo at half-time. If that was round 16, they would definitely have a look at it.
They've stopped the Tigers. They've got 9.5 minutes left, and they lead by 23. And they've been known to butcher these results.
Surely not.
They're going at 25% by foot, speaking of butchering. But the uncontested marks, Richmond have only taken 1 in this quarter. GWS with 15.
Surely not, Bristol.
It would be the greatest three-quarter time collapse in a prelim final ever, as Ash has pointed out. They are just 23 points in front, and they've got a clearance here. Williams is going to send it inside 50. Here comes Patton and Rance. This time Rance got a piece of it. Scully able to rove it. Excuse me, got the little ball to Johnson. Johnson to Green. Green fends off. Golden opportunity here for GWS. Didn't get there. And it'll be a Grimes mark, or will it? No. He couldn't reach it over the line out of bounds.
You know you're in good calling form when you can cough in the middle of a sentence. Just keep rolling on. Well done, Brian.
Ball to be thrown in very deep. City end, and if they find a way to sneak one through here, Duck, they will start getting real nervous. Nankervis down. Well done, Hooley. Came blasting through. Prestia went without it. Hooley wrapped up in the Taranto tackle. And another stoppage.
Well, they probably should have had a shot at goal here from the ball they had. They had on the outer side, and it's been their problem all day, GWS.
Thrown up ball, 35 from home.
I'm telling you, JB, I'm smelling it.
All right, let's go, Bristle. Handball from Graham. Back to Asprey. Asprey back to Rance. Rance just hacks it long and wide.
That's the trouble.
Foot race out here. Williams has got good wheels. His handball broken up. Rioli, little handball to himself, and then brilliantly keeps it alive. Lambert off a step. Long ball inside 50. Core to come in. Also, big thumping fist from Log. Here's Dusty. Inside the field of play. Off a step. Squaring Pill. Jack Revolt's done bugger all. He's taken the mark. 35 from home, tight angle. Soak up every bit of clock and go back and kick the goal and guarantee your team the grand final.
Again, good decision from Dustin Martin. Great decision from Dustin Martin. Has surveyed the scene, had a look, then ran around.
How good Rioli on the outer side too, again, one-on-one. Just been electric. He's going for the around-the-body one, Bristle.
He's good at this, Jack.
He's 35 from home. He's facing the centre of the ground. Here he goes. The around-the-ground Murray. Yes, please. They're home. They are home, Richmond. 8-13-61, 13-12-90. Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard.
Oh, Dusty Martin again, and Rioli, that little tap on for Rioli. You don't get a stat for it, but just so clever. That's what created that goal. It started with him, and then Dusty Martin, just a beautiful ball to the outer space. Always space on that outer side if you can get the ball over the top. Good finish by Riewoldt.
The McDonald's Triple M Rocks Finals footy, McDonald's Monopoly. And on the Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard, by the way, Red Z Lending Solutions for the self-employed, it is back out to a 29-point margin. What's been the Bosch Tools stat of the day? Bosch Power Tools and Accessories, Ash?
Definitely Trent Cotchin, 23 possessions, 16 of those contested and 9 tackles.
Back in the middle, 29-point lead all of a sudden with the Tigers here. Edwards out of the middle, had a pretty good game today, Edwards. Nice penetrating ball through the middle here. Marked by Davis. He doesn't waste any time. Got the handball to Shaw. Rioli closed in on him, but Shaw elusive enough to get the handball over the top to Taranto. Taranto goes out wide with the wing. Good-looking ball there. Couldn't mark it. Himmelberg, he's kicked 3 today. Rance, little handball out the back door, gave Basher an opportunity. He just wanted to kick it around the corner. Wilson couldn't smother it. Spills to Castagna. Castagna can run with the footy. Can feed the handball sideways. He does to Prestia. Prestia's about 70 from home on the boundary line. Centering ball, good-looking ball. Riewoldt, Davis spoiled. Lambert had the crumb, couldn't do it. And now GWS.
Turnover. Cochin to Caddy inside 50. The run of Ellis, 45 from home. Went for a little one, shouldn't have. Mightn't matter. Butler steps around a couple and kicks the Tigers another one. Listen to the noise. 95,000 Richmond fans have blown the joint completely to the bushlarkin. 14-12-96. a Richmond celebration. GWS 8-13-61. Triple M Red Z lending scoreboard.
And another one of those nippy forwards. They've had 9 goal kickers now, Brownie. That's a great spread. It's a great indication of team footy. And we've already spoken about they don't rely on anyone up there. They just all do their little bit. And that adds up to a lot.
Chemist Warehouse screen there. Butler comes from the ground. They all stand on the bench and applaud him. Celebrate footy finals with all the big brand vitamins and cosmetics. Now half price at Chemist Warehouse. T's and C's apply. Tigers by 35. Looks like they're going to get to the big show next week to play Adelaide. I tell you what, this city is going to be jumping like it hasn't for quite a few years. Here's Haynes, little ball knocked down, got it back out. Now Haynes with a sliding handball to Scully. Scully on his favourite left boot kicks a long ball to centre wing. Green flew, couldn't hold the mark. Patton at the back, got the handball back inside to Green. Green with another handball over the top out wide looking for Stevie J. Brandon Ellis just stole it off him. Little kick by Ellis out wide to Rioli. Been a superstar today, Rioli. Can go over the top here to Hooley. Hooley back to Rioli. No, he turns on the left. Long left foot ball. Deep inside 50. Martin comes. Couldn't mark. Off hands. Davis was there. And GWS out of trouble momentarily.
Been very good, Davis, Duck.
He has been sensational, hasn't he?
I mean, he and Scully, as Nath Brown said, have been supreme for GWS. Just didn't have enough mates when it mattered. Sideways handball to Patton. Himmelberg's been good too. Patton, sideways ball. And a mark taken by Williams. Centre half forward. So what a story this is for the Tigers. 1982, the last grand final they're in. 1980, the last grand final they've won. Lots of Tigers fans listening weren't even born. Here goes Williams. Long way out, has hit it to the right. It's not going to get there. And Nankervis, he's a great story. Takes a relieving mark and gets to Caddy. Another player from another club who's come to Richmond and played good footy. We've got 5 and a bit left. And they lead this game 96-61 by 35 points.
Yeah, they do indeed. Gee, you do wonder what Brett Toledo would be thinking right now. Haynes over the top. Takes a mark but a block, and it'll be a Castagna free. Edwards there as well. I know it wasn't him that wanted to go to GWS ultimately. Richmond wanted to move on him, but gee, you feel for him. Ball knocked down here to Townsend. Martin just paddles it to himself. A spinning pirouette. Beautiful sharp handball, Edwards.
On the ball.
Against Martin.
I didn't realise he was tackled.
No one tackled him. If the ball gets knocked out, that's not a tackle.
I agree.
23-minute mark of the last quarter. We have got 4 minutes and 44 before this place is going to go off.
What a grand final week we've got ahead. As Josh Kelly, sideways ball, looking for but not finding Scully. It comes to Whitfield. Whitfield's little left foot ball looking for Scully. Gets to him on the bounce just inside the field of play. Great tackle, Hooley. And he's thumped over the line to be thrown in. 4 and a bit left. This is just fairy tale stuff for the Tigers. They've endured so much pain. For 37 years, they've waited for a chance to win a grand final. They're going to get it in a week's time. On their home ground in front of their adoring fans. As here's Cochin, will he be there? That's going to be the interest. High hit on Dylan Shield. There's Revolt on the wing, takes the mark. And he goes again over the top. I'll let you keep going, Bristle. Inside 50 ball. Castagna arches the back. Has a bounce in the pocket. Numbers everywhere. Handball over the top. Butler can't get his foot to the ball. It's a behind.
94,258, the official crowd here today, Ash. How does that stack up?
Well, that's about the second biggest prelim final crowd we've had since the refurbishment and reconstruction of the Great Southern Stand and Northern Stand, BT.
The Tigers are smashing records left, right and centre this year. Into the middle of the ground is Whitfield. He marks, plays on, goes around the corner. Beautiful kick to Patton on the lead. His defender, Floston, had no chance. Patton marks 50 metres out. Man on the mark stands at 45. Patton right in front of the MCC members kicking to the city end. Anything else historically you've got to throw at us, Ash, about the Tigers and the long, as JB mentioned, 37-year wait? Just fire it in. Patton from 50 metres out. looking for their 9th goal, won't get it. High ball, Nankervis under it, off hands. Free kick will be paid here, and it'll go the way of Nankervis in the back pocket, JB.
Been good. Been good, the big man. Big Nanker. Of course, out of the Sydney Swans, he gets to play in a grand final with his new club. It's fisted away and out of play. So another summer of questions for GWS. Second prelim final in a row for them. Second prelim final loss. There's so much talent on the list, you know they're going to keep coming. But these are bitter pills to swallow, Duck, as you know.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They've got a lot of work to do over the summer.
McIntosh takes the mark inside forward 50, down to 2.5 left.
No, it's early to be talking about the summer, but they really have had a bit of an inconsistent year, GWS.
Flostone to Ellis, bounces his way to the members' wing and then wants to get around Himmelberg. Never going to happen. Been good, Himmelberg. And he takes a free kick on the wing. Got a sense with the Tigers there's a bit of self-preservation. He might have been in a little pill bag there, Ellis, I reckon.
Have a look at the Richmond bench, all the players wanting to get back on the ground.
Yeah. You just got to get yourself through these next couple of minutes and then you're in a grand final.
Leave Martin there, I reckon.
I agree with you, Brian. Grimes looking for a player to retreat to. Instead, he finds Prestia short to the brilliant Rioli.
So all they're going to do now here is just play a bit of keepy off footy. They don't have to have any contact, risk any injuries. They're far enough in front at 36 points here. There's going to be no damage done at all. Kick goes in there towards Rioli. They fly over the back as Butler. Butler takes lob on, runs into an open goal. There's the cream on the cake. He's got his second, Butler, in a row. And it's a massive 42-point margin. Trent Cotchin on the bench on the Chemist Warehouse screen. And it's 103 the Tigers, 61 GWS.
Rance now coming to the line, so they're ripping the superstars off the ground as we speak. Cotchin, Martin, Rance all sitting it out, and why wouldn't they, Duck?
Exactly right.
It's been Richmond's pace that's hurt them all night too.
Don't you love that when you've got a bloke with pace and takes an opponent on?
We thought that was going to be GWS's big strength tonight, the quick ball movement, the pace, the run and carry, but it's been Richmond who have shown the pace, shown the run and carry.
You guys should lean over and have a look out the window here at the Tiger fans, just fist pumping and doing all sorts of mad crap.
Lapping it up.
It's just bizarre, it really is. They haven't had any success.
Callum Ward out of the middle, good mark, Flostone third up. So a minute 20 left. Distributing kick to McIntosh. McIntosh, a bit of an arc, and then down the line he goes, looking for the hard run of Lambert. Lambert goes for a centering ball. It's broken out of the hands of Grigg. About that man's footy journey. Comes from Carlton, North Ballarat prior to that. He's going to play in the grand final. So many stories will dominate this week. Stevie J lurking around this. A sad way for him to finish footy. It's been a poor night for the champ. Ward back to Tomlinson. Tomlinson end on end and might be a downfielder. Is he going to come back to Tomlinson? I think it is.
It will.
50 seconds left, Brian.
He had a bit of a dash early, Adam Tomlinson. And he tried to provide some run-off halfback in the absence of the normal runners. Short kick to Lob. Lob goes down the line. High footy, but being marked here by Ashbury. Got a bit of a knock in the right eye earlier. And he's able to chisel off and find Floston. Floston to Hooley. Hooley just trying to keep hold of the footy out wide to Edwards.
The Tiger down behind plate. Broad.
So Broad back on his feet. Edwards holds this up. Tiger fans getting up out of their seats. Look at them starting to rise. JB, the last 20 seconds of the game here. The Tiger fans are standing up here. It'll be an incredible ovation as Whitfield goes forward. It doesn't matter though. It's almost inconsequential here as a free kick to Himmelberg. 35 metres out on a difficult angle.
The siren will sound here, Bristol.
It will. The Tigers are there. 37 years it's taken. And the Tigers are into their first grand final since 1982. Jack Riewoldt is in tears. Players converge. The crowd erupts. And they are in disbelief. fists are waving, and grand final week is going to be a massive, massive week of football.
They dare to dream. These amazing fans of this footy club, as you know better than anyone, Nath Brown, their membership, their supporter base has grown through the toughest of periods. As Brian said, 35 years out of the granny, 37 years since they last won a flag, but they've got bigger and stronger and more passionate, and now they are being led to the promised land.
This is enormous. This is absolutely enormous, considering where they were last year. At the end of last year, they lost a bunch of games by 10, 12 goals, and it looked like a rebuild, looked like a long time again. All of a sudden, they changed the game plan. They put some pressure on around the footy. Their forward-end pressure is where it all started, and look where it has taken them. Almost to the promised land, on the back of Dustin Martin's outstanding season and Trent Cotchin leading them the right way.
And I think you're only allowed to play the song twice, JB, and I tell you what, if they turn it off, it's going to be jump the fence
Jimmer
style.
Hardwick is down on the ground now, and what a story he is. Very nearly lost his job 12 months ago. Now got his club into a grand final. Let's have a listen to Trent Cotchin.
And their supporters, how bloody good are they? Oh, you can just stand here all day and enjoy that. The crowd is here. But what a performance. The prelim final, all the pressure on, the expectation. You guys were amazing. Yeah, look, I mean, it was always going to be an arm wrestle there. It's a talented side, as we all know, and they're playing some pretty good footy. We knew we had to bring our best. I don't think we were quite there in the first half, but we were thereabouts. And the boys just got to work in the second half and did a really good job in the end. Well, they called the third quarter the premiership quarter for a reason. You guys were able to execute perfectly, the pressure high, everything, but an entire group effort, wasn't it? No passengers, 22 great players. Yeah, I think that's been the story for the majority of the year. You know, and even beyond the 22, you know, we've got guys playing in a grand final for the VFL tomorrow, which just echoes, you know, what we pride ourselves on as a footy club and as a playing group. But yeah, it's pretty special. Don't bother trying to keep a lid on this. It's just about embracing this for the whole week. Is that the thought of the group? Well, you'd know best, I would have thought. So, what are your suggestions? Enjoy it, mate, especially when they're yelling as loud as this. This is special. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Business as usual during the week, and then another opportunity next weekend against quality opposition. Congratulations, mate. Good luck next Saturday against the Pros.
Trent Cotchin, courtesy of the 7 Network. Steve Johnson walks through a very nice corridor of players. Richmond showing the class to exit a champion off the field, and now it's all about preparing for a grand final. We can see the two coaches come together.
Thought maybe Lingy could have asked him about the hit on Dylan Shield just to see what his reaction would have been.
Didn't get to it, got swept up, but wow.
Come on, Lingy.
Now good. So, Bristol, we have the perfect for mine grand final in a sense that the city of Adelaide is owned by the Crows, and they will go completely ballistic, and this city will be all about the yellow and black for 7 days.
Well, you know what? Adelaide people will turn up in incredible numbers, which is going to give the buzz in the city from Monday right through, because they come for a while, and on top of that, the electricity that's going to be generated through this Tiger army is just going to be a cracking, mouth-watering encounter, I reckon.
And don't discount Richmond VFL side running all the way through. They play in the grand final tomorrow. How much of a lift that gives them, because they all train together, they all play together, and when you pick from a squad of players who have been playing the whole way through, it's pretty big.
Jack Riewoldt, courtesy of 7.
Been through some tough times as a club, and our supporters are just amazing. It is deafening. No one has slept. Oh, look, you just feed off the energy. You can't put a goal number on it or anything like that, but it was amazing. Like, you can hear it now. The captain's speaking, and you'd hear a pin drop in here. It's amazing. We're so proud to have great fans, mate, as you know. Mate,
just a word about the captain. I thought he was absolutely unbelievable in the third quarter. When the game was there to be won, he just willed himself to everything.
Yeah, he's been sensational. He's really opened up this year. Questions about his captaincy, mate. I just sort of feel like, it's a great effort for him, mate.
Mate, at what moment in this season did you actually think, gee, we've got something here that might be a chance to go all the way?
Yeah, look, Rick, you can't put a time on it, but look, we've played well all year. We've probably had 2 games that we couldn't get the way we wanted to go, but it's hard to put a time on it, mate, but we always believed with him. We lost some good players. We lost Lids, obviously, and we've got new guys to the club, and them and the youth have really given us a vibrancy around the club, so I'm a bit lost of words, mate. I really don't know what to say.
Mate, what about Dimmer? You obviously had to change a few things. Probably everyone did around the club. What was the biggest shift in Dimmer?
Look, it's really hard for a grown man to strip himself back and admit fault. And I think he went away and he did that. We've got some new guys in on our coaching panel as well, which have brought different things as well. But it's hard to put your finger on exactly what it is, but the openness that he's shown to the group this year, he's led the example along with Trent, and myself and Alex have just tried to follow in that, and it's fed through the group.
Now, mate, a few people in Hobart are going to be ringing you for tickets this week. I'll turn your phone off if I were you.
Yeah, mate, look, my parents are here tonight, my fiance's parents are here tonight, my family's over, mate. All the guys' families are here. We hope that everyone out there is really proud of us. I think that's the one thing that we always try and focus on, playing for our family and playing for our club, and hopefully everyone enjoyed the show tonight.
They certainly did. They're all still here, mate. Go and enjoy it. You're into a grand final.
Big Show holding the interview for a very long time. I just had my binoculars, Bristle, on the punt road end. Yeah. They have not left, not a person has left, and they are going absolutely ballistic.
They demand they play the song again.
It's just brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. This success-starved leviathan of a club.
Of the 95,000 here today, probably only maybe 30, 40
maybe, yeah.
Get a look at the grand final next week,
at
probably.
Best.
At best.
And that's why they're staying here now, lapping it all up. And so they should.
Yeah, not even, I reckon, Bristle. If you got 20, it'd be... Right. Let's have a listen to Dusty.
Life's crucial goals in the last quarter. Oh, mate, it's just a surreal feeling. It's unbelievable. I was lucky enough to get on the end of all the boys' pressure. It's awesome, mate.
Mate, you played pretty much in the forward line for a lot of the game today. What did you want to play? Was it 50-50? What was the plan going into the game?
Yeah, just 50-50, mix it up a bit, keep them guessing, but mate, the boys are unbelievable. Sitting down there watching from the forward line, the pressure and all that was just, it's amazing.
And how proud of those little guys are you in the forward line, because they've brought a dynamic that we've never seen at this footy club before.
Yeah, you hear you tend to hear the big names in the media and all that kind of thing, but yeah, you know Butler, Rioli, Castagna, mate, all of them. It's super proud of those guys.
Be going off in Auckland tonight.
Yeah, I just want to say g'day to Dad. I wish you were here, mate. I know you're watching. I love you.
Well done, Dusty.
Dusty Martin, and just always think, Bristle, that it's interesting to see the reactions of some people at the end of a prelim, because you have got a game the next week, and there was some very interesting behaviour as the Tigers make their way down the race. And Big Cho, a great friend of yours, Nathan, he, a bit like Bill Brownless when Geelong eventually did it in 2007, he means so much to this club, and what a great thing for him to be out there too.
Yeah, it would have been great for him to see what it was all about, and I don't think anybody's ever seen this in the whole history of the game, having 93,000 people here barracking for the one side. It's been one night that I reckon nobody in this stadium will forget.
Yeah, it is amazing. You're right. It doesn't happen very often.
Nuts. It's just nuts. And good on them too.
And I'll tell you what, GWS had their look in that first half. They should have been a lot further in front. Richmond withstood that pressure, withstood that run. And just before half-time, they started to slow them down. They started to chip the ball around. And boy, were they good after that.
Let's get down to Nez for Bob Jones T-Marts.
Absolutely unbelievable atmosphere down here, boys. It is packed. You can see Damien Hardwick, just a proud coach, looking like a proud dad behind the netting, letting the boys have their moment. Justin Lepich, the assistant coach, he's in tears. It is just unbelievable scenes room for the players to actually walk into to sing the song. Big smiles, lots of hugs, a big fist bump from Dustin Martin as he gives it to the assistant coaches, and Dimmer Hardwick has a big smile and a laugh. Let's have a listen to the song, boys, because this is going to be big.
For me anyway, Bristle, so much of the Western Bulldogs of last year about this story. They came from the clouds. They were outside of the 8 the year before. Same with Richmond, and they've just gained momentum as the season's gone on. And
probably drew a bit of belief out of that.
They've been emphatic in this September period, Richmond, and they come up against a towering opponent next week, but who's to say they can't repeat what the Dogs did last year?
Alex Rance was enormous again tonight. Had the most time on ground tonight, bar Nick Maxwell out there.
You don't look at what Rance does just in stats, and he had a stack of intercept marks, but it's how he influences other contests. I actually reckon it's more impressive than what the Bulldogs have done, and that's saying something. The reason why I say that, the Bulldogs were in the finals the year before. They lost. They lost against Adelaide. They were really competitive, so they were emerging as a good young team. They have come. No one gave this team a chance of playing finals footy at the start of this year, and they're now in a grand final. This is it is quite incredible.
Yeah, unbelievable. This is the Triple M review for Exetel. Visit exetel.com.au and pay much less for unlimited NBN broadband data.
Well, and they will probably, I can't remember, Nath, you're into the numbers of that type more than me, they'll probably go in underdogs, and I think the Dogs did last year.
It'll be close, though. It'll be close. They'll definitely go in underdog. And Adelaide deserve the game favourites. They were awesome last night. They've been outstanding all year.
So it'll be just titanic. It's set up the perfect grand final day. Seeing the Chemist Warehouse vision of Stevie J exiting, of Brett Deledio and the Richmond fans being very good to him. Dusty Martin with the one arm pumping just nuts. So I think we've got the numbers here already. And it's $1.68 Adelaide, $2.20 Richmond. You know this, so you think that'll shorten during the week?
That $2.20 will very much shorten. I reckon it'll get in under $2.
The McDonald's Shopping Rocks finals footy, the Monopoly game at Macca's is back. Come in and play today. Let's have a look at some of the Boss Tool stats, Ash.
Time in the forward half was dead even, but you look at the tackles in the forward half, 34-22 Richmond's way. The scores from turnovers, they posted 10 goals, 8 to the Giants and only 4 goals, 6. But leading ball winners, Trent Cotchin, 26 possessions, 17 of those contested along with 9 tackles. Lambert finished with 23 in the major. Martin, 20 disposals, 13 score involvements and 3 goals. And Rioli, 14 possessions, 4 goals, which is a PB. And Stevie J, BT in his last ever game. So his stats card finishes as follows: 293 games, 516 majors, 3-time premiership player, and 3-time All-Australian. Of course, he won the Norm Smith medal back in 2007.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Well, and not only that, Bristle, he retires, not a great day today for him, but he retires as one of the great modern entertainers of our game, and that you can't put a dollar figure on that. He's dragged people through the turnstiles. Let's get out, Inez.
Dustin Martin with me, boys. Dusty, this is a win 35 years in the making. Talk us through the emotion right now.
Oh, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. It's surreal. All the boys are very emotional. We've worked super hard, but job's not done yet. We've still got one to go.
This time last year, there were people wanting to sack your coach. Tell us how much Damien Hardwick means to you as a bloke.
Oh, he means the world to not only me, but all the boys. Yeah, we love him to bits. He's a great man. I'm glad we can get him into a grand final.
You're a bit choked up right now.
Yeah, as I said, everyone's a bit emotional. It's pretty special. You don't really get here too often, so just enjoy it.
Hey, Dusty, you're recommitted to this amazing football club. It must feel just so incredible that you and this group are going to the first grand final in 35 years.
Yeah, as I said, it's a bit surreal. I'm a bit speechless, to be honest. But yeah, it's definitely something very, very special.
And your big players stood up today. Your captain was enormous, but I thought Alex Rance in the back half just impassable for so much of the game.
Yeah, that's why they're our leaders. You know, Cochin was incredible. So was Rancy. You know, I spent a bit more time up forward, and I just sat back and watched them too, and the rest of the boys go at it. It was awesome.
Dusty, don't sell yourself short in the leadership stakes, because the game was tight tonight, and it was only a couple of goals of difference. You kicked the next 3 goals of the game to put it to bed.
Yeah, I'll just do what I can, mate. I'll get on the end of a couple if I can.
Hey, Dusty, your captain, Trent Cotchin, clearly changed. I reckon he's changed the way he plays. You last year, you won the best and fairest last year. A lot of people forget that. You actually beat Alex Rance, but a lot of your possessions were centre-back. This year, obviously, centre-forward, but your skipper in the middle. Less possessions, but boy, has he led from the front.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's just leading with his actions. He doesn't have to get 30 possessions to really impact the game. He gets 20 plus, and he's just a superstar, mate. I love him.
Dusty, most can get their parents here to watch games like this and enjoy it as a family. What do you got to say if you had an opportunity to speak to your dad right now? What would you tell him?
Yeah, it's bittersweet at the moment, mate. I wish he was here. I just love him very much, and hopefully he's here soon.
Hey, Dusty, what about Daniel Rioli? Did you see a game like that in this young rising star?
Yeah, we always knew that he could do that. As I said, all those young blokes, Rioli, Castagna, Butler, putting on all the pressure. Yeah, they're great boys.
4 goals, enormous. Hey, we'll let you go and enjoy what will be not only a great night, but a huge week for your footy club. Go well with it.
Thanks very much, guys.
Dusty Martin, and he'll have a big night Monday night too. A quieter night than if they hadn't won tonight.
So how do you, JB, from an official point of view of the club, how do you handle that? So here he is. He's the favourite for the Brownlow. He's your most important player going into the grand final. What happens?
Well, I just think you get them together. I'm sure Damien Hardwick will do that and go, right, we've had a great day today, let's enjoy it. A bit like the Western Bulldogs did up in GWS last year. I think they allowed Duck, their group, to enjoy that win. But then it'll be a refocus. The ones that go to the Brownlow will be very subdued, I imagine, and be out of there pretty quick afterwards. And then it's just down to business. And it'll be big business, because every day, Nath, at Punt Road, there'll be how many?
10,000. 15.
Well, clearly, it is obviously a different week, but they've had 2 weeks to sort of the exposure that they've had in the last 2 weeks. I reckon it's going to stand them in good stead for how they handle this
week.
What
they've got is a lot of young players who are just excited about it too, so I don't think they'll get caught up in it.
All right, we got grand final tickets to give away. We've got a wrap-up to do here. Massive for this, as I said, sleeping giant of a football club. They've had 35 years to wait to be in the big dance. They're in it now. They beat GWS by 36 points in front of 94,500. Just amazing. And for McDonald's, we'll be back at the MCG Triple M Rocks Finals footy.